stepped in some goose poop. Oh, and there's something flying around me. We're in full sunlight. I'm debating. I got this horrible tan. Hold on. So first of all, from here, all that's white, and then all of this is white, and I need to tan all of that. I got a bikini bottom, but I don't want to be half naked on the internet with my ass hanging out, because that bikini bottom is big, and so it's like gonna show a lot. So I'm just gonna leave these shorts on and kind of hike them up crazy and try to get comfortable, because I need to damn. I hope my phone works. There's some people. There's two guys that pulled in over there, and I was waiting to see which way they went. Have to pay attention. Everybody's a weirdo until you can prove otherwise. Is that gonna sit there? Probably not. And I need flat, level ground. I guess let's go over there. I was trying to hide back here. That ain't gonna work. And there's so much goose poop. I'm gonna put this right here in the shade. We'll do that, and I'll put my blanket right there on the soft spot. Of course, I gotta make everything difficult, right? Stuff's tickling my foot. It's already 90 degrees. It is, really, truly, seriously. God, this bag weighs 50 pounds. Put this up. Where's the cord? There it is. Give me a second. I'm dying. Yeah, it rained. Yep, it rained. That's what happens when it rains here. North Carolina doesn't have water. They have muddy water. The beaches, the rivers. My battery pack. But you have to get everything out of your bag in order to find the one thing you're looking for. Jeez Louise. Alright, I got this one charging. It's so hot. So hot. The sun's right above me. Oh. Oh, there's goose poop. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Here goes Amazon. Yep. Even he's suspect. See, this is what I'm saying. This is perfect. This is perfect. So you see how there's a driveway there and a driveway there? It didn't make sense for him to take that driveway. No sense at all. People are creepy. What do they be doing? What do they be doing? How many miles a day do you have to walk or hike for your supplies, Ronald? I average about 10 to 20 a day for resources. That's a fake account, y'all. But I wanted to entertain it. Don't you love it? Weirdo. And then he didn't even stop. He just come through. Didn't even stop. No packages dropped off. Nothing. Weird. Weird. What was his purpose? And it's like a mile in here too, which is kind of weird. Oh no. I gotta get underneath my arms. What time is it? Hey Siri, will you set a timer for 30 minutes?
30 minutes, starting now.
Thanks. You don't never want to work for me, right? Let me figure it out. I figured it out. The bigger the drop. Humidity is on 100. I think it's 70. So that sucks. It's a bit much. Damn, my hair's on the grass. This towel ain't very long, is it? My phone working? It wasn't earlier. Sure wasn't. It's supposed to rain this afternoon. I don't know if it will. It'd be nice if it does. I need some water. Can you hand me my cup? Can't see nothing. I'm surprised my phone ain't got hot. It is. I think my phone's messing up. Ain't that crazy? All of this. I had everything. And YouTube stole it all. Because people hate themselves. So now I'm an actual bum. I love it. I'm thinking about that tuna salad now. Oh, here goes another weirdo. Just want to be left alone. Is that too much to ask to be left alone? The hell?
How you doing?
My mistake is being up here. I need to go down there. I can't be anywhere where people can see me because they can't help themselves. It's annoying. Nobody wants to fucking talk to you. If I wasn't pretty, they wouldn't even fucking try. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Y'all hear the ducks? They're showing out. They're not ducks, they're geese. I need a bikini. Bad. Well, I don't know. I got on shorts and I fucking got a problem with perverts. I'm jealous. The birds get to swim in the water, but I can't. Is that why we can't swim? Because the birds? Probably. Probably get the damn West Bow. I don't know. West Nile UTI. I'm jealous. It'd be nice to get in there. I wish I could. I'm jealous. I had court last week. Mind your business. Some of y'all are so dense, and you wonder why nobody wants to talk to you. Da-da-da. Here's your sign. You have no friends. Nobody wants to be around you. Probably means it's you. See, I have the opposite problem. I got too many people in my fucking face. Everybody wanting my fucking time and energy, and I don't like nobody. I don't want nobody in my face. Come again another day. I'm either getting dehydrated or I've had a bug fly down my throat. I think by 2, 3 o'clock I'm gonna be burnt. You know what I mean? I went. It rained. Whenever it rains here, it gets nasty like that. Not one person comes and says, "Oh, great, your charges got dismissed." No, it's just trolls hoping that something bad happened to me last week, and it didn't. It won't. It never will. At least one thing I can count on is that prosecutor and my attorney has sense because they got the charges dismissed. So thank God for that. At least there's 2 people that work in damn Rockingham County that have a brain and see things for what it is. Jealousy is a killer, man. It really is. People have died over jealousy. Maybe I need to come out with some, go find some videos and let me cook. Let's see if I can remember to do that tomorrow. I'm telling you, jealousy for women, it's a whole motive, man. It's a whole motive. Bitches really be unhappy with themselves. And they be out here trying to fuck up everybody else's life because they miserable. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's sad. I feel bad for people that are not happy with themselves. To call and lie on somebody, wow. It ain't over till it's over. I'll tell you that. That's a whole civil case. Probably a nice hefty one too, given the circumstances of me losing my channel numbers, my paycheck, and my truck, and having to drop out of school and accruing debt from college. Oh, the paperwork I've been saving. Yeah, that's a whole civil case, baby. $300 into $5,000. The lies. It's a suable offense To file a police report and have somebody locked up for something they didn't do, yeah, that's a suable offense. I set a timer for 30 minutes. That's really all that you need. Probably 15 on the front, flip 15 on the back. That's going to get your vitamin D levels up to where they're supposed to be. If you're not getting out in the sun, then you're definitely vitamin D deficient, because this is where it comes from. We can get it from milk too, but it's also 2 different kinds. Our body produces vitamin D based around sunlight. We photosynthesize in the sun outside. Let your body photosynthesize outside in the sun. It's hot. Something's still tickling me on my back 3 hours later. I need water. Hello. Hey, Michelle. It's a nice day out here. While I had the opportunity, I packed me a lunch. Thank you, thank you. And figured I'd come out to the park. You know, it's not like I can get work. It's not like I can find a job. It's not like there's a homeless shelter. This is your life when you're homeless. This is why you see people sitting on the fucking corner. What are they supposed to do? Riddle me this, Batman. What are they supposed to do? With no shower, no ID, no income, no cell phone, no means to an end. I had all of that until the internet trolls got me fired from a job. Until bitches at Planet Fitness lied on me after spitting on me. Remember? I do. It's all recorded. People wanted me to lose everything. Well, I lost everything and I'm still the same old bitch. As a matter of fact, give it 5 years of me being on the streets, I'm probably going to be meaner. Within my right. You heard me right. The longer I'm out here, the more right I have to be disrespectful towards society. Absolutely. Especially when they're the one that put me in this situation. I didn't do this. It's not my fault. See how lies affect a person's life? Why ain't my phone working? Why ain't none of my phones working? They were working yesterday when I came in here. Like the whole phone's black. Swear to God, I can't wait till the fucking power grid goes down. Cannot wait till the fucking whole phone system collapses. So I can be like, I told you so. I was the only person in the country that had these problems, apparently. Nobody else complains about it. Something's crawling on my leg. I'm probably gonna have to kill it dead. Wait, my phone working? Jesus Christ. Please work. Please, Jesus, make it work. Jesus, please. Come on, man. This is baloney. There it goes. There it goes. It's working. I think it was Pam Bondi, and now she's the one that's under fire. Fake and reneging on this damn agreement to release the Epstein files. I need an editor, please, so you can go back and stitch what I said last December and attach it to new news articles of Pam Bondi being fake in July. Please, God, some editor help me. I called it. I said, I don't like that Pam woman, y'all. That was the only one I didn't like out of everybody. And damn. Look at her go. Go, little rock star. You fucking everything up. she's a fuckery artist. For real. It's crazy. I need to get under my arms. I need to focus. Oh, it's dirt. Damn it. I'm trying to get comfortable. I need to get my armpits. My under my arms are white. You see? Oh, you probably blinded yet. That was probably too bright. You got your glasses, because I'm pits out. Before. I probably should have on that bikini bottom, y'all. And I feel nothing for you. I get kidnapped. I might close my eyes for a second. I'm just gonna rest my eyelids for a half a second. My PTSD, I could never fall asleep like this. But I can rest my eyelids. When I tell you that half of my stomach is tan and the other half looks like Elon Musk belly, it's sad. It was fluorescent, honey. It wasn't white. It was luminescent. Seriously. Don't lift up your arms. You'll blind people. I mean, like, being white is alright. But being that white, that ain't right. That fluorescent, it looks sick. You look like an alien. You know, like that gray white, like Elon has going on, because he never leaves his damn house. He's always working. So, he's like super white. It's like a fluorescent, like glowing white. I want something to drink. I stay thirsty out here. But it's so hot, you can't drink a lot at a time. You gotta sip on it. Because the more you drink, the more nauseous you feel in this heat. Even if it is cold, it's just too much on your stomach at one time when it's this hot. I'm not afraid. Now my phone's acting crazy. It might be the heat. There's a glitch. Oh, now it. Hey, Mr. Big Truck. My big truck, I hope you're doing well. It's just a matter of time before the before it, what goes out? I'm sorry, I missed something. Overheated, yes, Miss GT 500. Hey, Flutterby, in my big truck. You need a little umbrella. They sell at Walmart, yeah. It's just a lot to carry. You know, all I have is one set of clothes, a few drinks, and my food in my bag is like 50 pounds. It's crazy how heavy everything is. I might have to throw one of these cups away before I leave because I don't know how I'm going to carry all this on the bicycle. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, the power grid. Hey, maybe if it goes down, people will come back to a more place of, like, community and, like, love and, like, they'll appreciate family and, like, the small things. You know? Maybe. Cell phone. People are... You know? We read that report this morning. It said the average American watches 4 hours of television a day. Not this girl. I'm lucky to even see a news article anymore. I never get to watch my damn phone. When I said I watched Judge Judy last night, I mean like half an episode because I fell asleep while watching it. I literally started it and 2 minutes later I was asleep. So that's my idea of watching TV till I pass out from exhaustion. I can't remember the last time I can. I sat down and watched a movie one of you guys recommended. It was here on YouTube and it was really good. Damn. That was like 3 months ago. I don't remember who recommended it. It was good. Damn. I feel like it had Bradley Cooper in it too. I don't remember. Yeah, I need to spruce up that water. It's melting and it's not working. And I don't remember what all I put in there, but I might need to add some stuff. We might actually have to go into town for ice and stuff, y'all. It's so hot. I mean, I guess I could, like, put on those bikini bottoms and, like, throw some water on myself in the damn bathroom. It kind of sucks that you can't swim here. So stupid. This is what I mean when I say that it's not a free country anymore. This is Parks and Rec. The whole purpose would be to swim. I don't get it, man. They used to. There's pictures of it up there. Oh, damn. Look. I'm in South Carolina. Let's not forget. I'm in South Carolina, remember? Because I can fake this. If that doesn't go to show that all the trolls are liars. See how people used to be able to swim in here? And I heard they used to have bathhouses and all kinds of places that you could go. Camping activities for the Boy Scouts. There was an aircraft that was once displayed here, and all of this is gone. All of this. A small playground. They don't even have a playground here at all. I wonder how much money they get. Let's see. I'm on fire already. I've got to be careful. I might end up with skin cancer. I guess being under the shelter is a little bit. Is that dirty? A little bit. All right, let's see here. What was we? I know. What is the budget for North Carolina Parks and Rec? I'm so sick of Apple. Hold on one second. I'm gonna grab my cup. My feet are white. Look at how white my feet are in comparison to my legs. Fluorescent. I told you. Let's see here. That's my 30-minute timer. Damn, that 30 minutes went by quick, y'all. We'll take a break, then we'll flip over and get our backside. Because I got, you see, can y'all see how, why ain't there no light in this mug? I'm outside. Y'all, I got the worst tan line known to me. Oh, there you go. You see how white I am down here? Yeah, and I'm tan and tan. Well, now look at my darn fluorescent feet. Honey, I'm just exposing myself. Hey, don't even get me started. Because I will toot my own horn, honey. Yeah, I need to get this bottom half of my stomach because I want to be able to wear a bikini, but I'm white and I'm white, and that's what I'm trying to target is that area, you know? Oh, let's see here. Don't they? They do. They look like I've been walking in the sand. I know. It's because I've been having socks and shoes on while bicycling everywhere. So my legs are getting sun, but my feet are in shoes and socks. I can't wear Crocs on that bicycle getting around town and stuff. I'll end up hurt. And that's another thing. If you're going to be bicycling for your resources, you're going to have to, hello, Joyful. You're going to have to make sure that you have good shoes. I need a new pair. Mine are cut in half. I don't know when that'll happen. North Carolina's state budget includes funding for parks and recreation with significant allocations for both state parks and local community projects. The state also has a Parks and Recreation Trust Fund that provides hold on, let me just make sure that YouTube knows that this person is promoting hate speech and violence. Let me also flag it for sexual harassment, pornographic, explicit material. Let's also flag it. I mean, I do this every day, you know. Do this every day. The 2 girls I stabbed were white. They were white girls. They were white girls. Get your facts right. I was a heroin addict. Been clean for half a decade. Got in a fight with 2 girls. They were white girls. I've never harmed a child. Maybe get your facts right. It's pathetic how obsessed people are. You know the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Just in Fayetteville, North Carolina alone, they got over $9 million last year. Does this look like a $9 million park? Hold on. No, but for real, where's the playground? You see 2 trash cans. Do you see water fountains? Do you see... How does $9 million equate to some grass and a lake that you can't even swim in? Seriously, let's talk about it. You want to know where your tax dollars are going. Y'all care about the misuse and misappropriation of funding in this country. Let's talk about it. How does this park equate to $9 million? And they call me stupid. Let's see how much North Carolina Parks and Rec get for this park every year. And this is currently the only public Mayo Mountain access. What is the North Carolina budget for parks and recreation? What is the budget? It's beating around the bush. Just one park in Fayetteville, North Carolina, one park costs $9.5 million. So if that one park costs $9.5 million, sorry, I just want to report this to YouTube so they know what's going on. Probably Cooper was getting that money now, Stein. Yeah, for real. If that one park is $9.5 million, hold on one second. What is the total budget for the entire? Wow. Hold on. So the 2021 budget for Parks and Rec in North Carolina was a total of nearly $200 million for resilience and more than $300 million for conservation projects. This was the greatest investment in conservation in North Carolina communities since before the recession of the late 2000s. This was back in 2021. They received over $500 million for Parks and Rec. Let me show you this park. This is a state park in North Carolina. You cannot swim in that river, and you cannot use that mountain bike to hit those mountain trails. Do you even see anybody else here? Let's go take a gander around here. Do you see a playground? Do you see park benches? Do you see water fountains? Do you see showers? Do you see a dock for people to jump off of to get in that river, that pond? How does $500 million equate to this? Do you see any park workers? You want to know where your tax dollars are going? Well, hello? Great question. Great question. Where are they going? I'm sitting here proving that there's misappropriation of funds for sure, 100%. There's no debating that. You'd have to be an idiot not to understand. $500 million in 2021 went to Parks and Rec. It did not go back into the infrastructure. It did not go to accommodate North Carolinians on their park trips. I'm sorry, but that board right there doesn't cost $500 million. It's crazy. I notice these inconsistencies everywhere I go when it comes to government. Local government, Key Largo. Oh, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. I'm telling y'all, one day they're going to find out that somebody in Key Largo was stealing millions of dollars in budget money. Listen. Wait for it. And actually, I think they have already had some pretty significant problems down there with corruption. So it says there's multiple parts of the funding that they received. And this is the last number that you can get. Because, you know, they're making stuff like this not public information anymore, even though it's public information. They don't want you to know where your tax dollars are going and how they're misusing them. So they don't even tell you how much the budget is now. Let's see here. Oh, and aren't they like firing part workers across the country? Like left and right? So they get grants. This is the primary source of grants. It's land and water funds, allowing hundreds of local government, state agencies, and conservation nonprofits to protect clean water and conserve ecologically, culturally, or historically significant lands. This investment will directly benefit acquisitions and easements sought along the Blue Ridge Parkway. So they're expecting almost $50 million in revenue from 21 to 22, plus additional 51.5 million in revenue from 22 to 23. They are rolling in it, and they can't even put water fountains in these bitches. Oh, but the grant was for land and water fund. Land and water fund. Huh, interesting. 15 million projected from 21 to 22, specifically for projects. The 15 million spent on projects to protect and restore flood plans and reduce flood risk. Well, you don't really need to reduce flood risk if you don't have no people coming into the park. It kind of defeats the whole purpose. If you don't really need a safety plan if you don't have amenities for people to enjoy in the park. That's why this place is empty. The middle of summer, children are out of school. When I was a kid, my mom worked during the summers and my dad did too. And so my grandma would have us and she would take us to the parks. Library, skating ring, karate classes, whatever, 4-H programs, Awanas programs. Grandma always had us doing something in the summer. But the parks was a huge thing. They have a beautiful park in Burlington, North Carolina with a carousel, and I'm sorry my expectations are high. I actually grew up where there was a lovely park that I fully support spending millions to upkeep, okay? Because it's a lovely park where they have food and concessions and a small little ride that you can ride, like the old-fashioned hobby horse. What is that thing? Carousel. And it's really nice. I think they even have a water park now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I might be getting two of my favorite parks mixed up. But this is crazy. It's crazy that I can't find how much money goes specifically towards this park. Here we go. Adopted budgets, GreensboroGovernor.com. So this is all the budgets. Let's go to the 2024. And it's actually 23 to 24. I think it said 800 and something million. That would be for the entire state for Parks and Rec. Hold on, I'm having to flip through the damn. $751 million. $751 million budgeted towards Parks and Rec, and you see what this park looks like. Where is that money going? Because it's not going back into the parks, and they're laying off park workers, so their overhead costs on employees is shrinking. Where is this money going? Why do these things not make sense? Look at this. You cannot sit here and say that it takes $751 million to upkeep this. I'm gonna shut up. It pisses me off. I just wish that I had some kind of schooling where I could actually go investigate this shit, because the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. It don't make no sense. And everywhere I go, I find little inconsistencies like this. If you sit down and you look at the number and then you look out at the infrastructure and who's working behind that infrastructure, how much it costs to run that business or that branch, the math ain't mathing. This, these parks that I go into in North Carolina, y'all have been to a bunch of them with me, probably 24, they're all trash. So, listen, common sense tells us that that money is being used elsewhere, because there's no way that this takes a budget of almost $800 million to upkeep. There's no way. North Carolina has a history of being corrupt. Most states do. It's really bad in North Carolina. Really bad. The corruption here is top tier, and nobody really talks about it, but it is. It's top tier. I've been to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia, California, Colorado. I've been to a bunch of places, honey, and I've never had any kind of legal trouble anywhere else. Just North Carolina. And it's here that I was charged twice with crimes that I didn't commit. What are the chances of that happening? I think a lot more than we have stats on. I think a lot more than we have stats on. I think that it's common for people who maybe had a felony prior in life to be charged with crimes later in life that they actually didn't commit, especially if it's a violent offense. My study, my stats, the data I've collected from stories I've shared has shown that you have a probable chance of being charged with a crime you did not commit after committing a crime earlier in life. Does that make any sense? If you go and you rob a bank at 20 years old and you catch felony bank robbery charges, was that larceny, grand larceny? I don't freaking know. I never stole in my life. Say you go and you do a violent offense like rob a bank, and then 30 years down the line, your neighbor has a firearm that comes up missing and he says you were the last one in his house, and they just take you to jail based off of your prior record. This is very common, and this is a problem in our legal system where investigators jump the gun and they think that they got the cat in the bag because this person may have committed a crime 20, 30, 5 years prior, and they just assume that this person has had to have done this crime, this new crime, based off of their past history. And matter of fact, it goes deeper than that. There's people that have to take plea deals for shit they didn't do because the alternative is spending life in prison for shit they didn't do. It's crazy, man. The whole legal system is just screwed. Once you're in the system, you stay in the system. You're absolutely right, Fred. And matter of fact, disproportionately, foster care children end up in the system. I think something like 70% by the age of like 26 years old. It's crazy. I mean, it comes with poverty. 65% of foster kids age out of the system by 18 years of age. 65% of those kids that age out of the foster care system, they need immediate housing. They're homeless. When you turn 18 and the DOC too, you'll age out of that system if you had juvenile charges and ended up in a training school or a youth development camp or something. You age out of that too, and I think that's actually 21. But anyways, I digress. If you age out of the foster care system, you either end up in a homeless shelter, or if you get lucky, maybe if you've had a drug problem or something, you can find some kind of drug rehab halfway house that'll take you on. 65% of foster children that age out of the system at 18 are homeless immediately. That is a pipeline to the DOC. A lot of these people have no choice but to steal. They have no choice but to be prostitutes. They have no choice but to sell drugs. I understand for people that's never had to make a harsh decision like that. Do I need to sell drugs? Most people it's never crossed their mind, oh my God, am I going to have to sell my body to keep my power on? If you've never been there, then good for you. But unfortunately, a lot of these foster kids, they're left with no choice. I'm not making excuses for their actions, but also their brains are still developing. They're still children. I know they're 18 and the state says, oh, you're big enough, we don't want to feed you no more. But the reality is that their brains are still developing and they're still growing. It's a really sad system. The foster care system is a pipeline to the Department of Corrections. And that's been proven time and time again. If we could fix the foster care system and actually give people the skills that they need to stand on their own 2 feet, we would see a reduction in crime, poverty, and how many inmates we're seeing return to the DOC over and over again. It becomes a revolving door, just like drug rehabs, just like mental health hospitals, all of these places. The systems are so broken that no one's being helped when it comes to addiction services, mental health services, and foster care, and the DOC. All of those systems are completely broken down, completely. They all need help, and they all go together. It's like an infinity circle. They all flow together. They absolutely do. Statistically speaking, it's shown. They've studied this. All of these things flow together. Poverty, crime, they all flow together. It's probably a multi-billion-dollar industry, though, you know? Helping people would fix it, and then they wouldn't make no money. Who? Well, let's talk about them individually. The prison system, they make millions of dollars, whether they're privately or state operated. That's a whole. There was a judge. Listen to this shit. There was a judge that was locking up juvenile foster care little girls, sending them to training schools to get kickbacks. This was a case. I don't remember when. We've talked about it before, but this judge was locking up innocent teenage girls so that he could send them to a youth camp so that he could make money. I'm not lying. I swear to God, you can go find it. One day, I can't get sidetracked today. One day, we'll talk about that again. The prison system, they make tons of money, funding, blah, 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 okay? The medical industry, when it comes to mental health services, if we get people to a place where they can provide their own help through talk therapy, different types of therapy without medication and stuff, if we get them to a place where they're able to manage their mental health conditions, then they won't have to keep coming back. If we put them on medicine and just give them medicine after medicine that we know is going to work for a short period of time and then stop working, they're going to make millions off of people, you know? Not to mention, if they don't give patients the tools that they actually need to recover or help them with their mental health disorders, then they'll be fine for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. Then they're going to fall down, spiral, have a full crash out, and come crawling back through the door needing more support, whether it's mental or medicinal through medication. Do you see what I'm saying? Mental health services has become a revolving door, in my opinion, of medical malpractice with the intent of making money, just like the mutilation of children that we saw for the past 5 years. So the prison industry is a whole money thing. The mental health services is a whole money thing. Drug rehabs, that insurance, baby, they want that insurance. They just want to milk that thing. Listen to this. If they get patients set up with a treatment plan and the skills. Do you know how many times I went to rehab before I got clean? I got clean on my own, for those that don't know. I went to rehab, I don't know, half a dozen times. Not one time helped me. And matter of fact, when I would come out, I would be even worse off. Not one time when I was in rehab did anybody tell me, no clinical, no doctor, no therapist, no other recovering addict, not one person ever looked at me and told me the importance of people, places, and things. And wouldn't you know it, after 5 years of recovery, I've realized that people, places, and things is 90% of your recovery. If you can nail that, you'll stay clean. See, that's the hard part, though. See, this is what drug rehabs are not going to tell patients. Hey, sorry, you got to cut your mama out of your life. Yeah, she's the one that started giving you pills at 16 to try to pimp you out so she could do pills herself. It's not healthy for you to be in that environment. This is the lack of care, okay? I'm telling you right now, this is a prime example of why recovering addicts are not recovering. Because medical professionals are leaning on that leftist BS, and they don't want to simply tell the patient what is actually good for the patient. They instead of telling the obese 600-pound woman that she needs to diet and exercise, they want to give her Wegovy. They want to give her Ozempic. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of telling the addict that they need to separate from people, places, and things indefinitely, no matter who or what it is, it's just easier to tell the patient, oh, here's NA, go do your 90 and 90, you'll be fine. Not one person ever told me that my recovery was based around me staying away from any and everything that has to do with drugs, and that includes people who, you know, like I said, if I get around somebody and they even joke about drugs, I'm out the door, homie. I take your jokes as for real. It's like you're fantasizing about doing drugs. Why are you joking like that unless you have some unmet desire to do that? I take stuff like that very seriously. I didn't always, and it caused me a relapse. So you live and you learn. But rehabs are one of the main branches of, you know, problematic branches that we have right now between, you know, all of those mental health services, addiction recovery, homelessness, foster care. Addiction services, they don't give the patient in my opinion, what they actually need. They don't even get their basic needs met when they come through the door. It's all about getting that bed filled so that they can charge insurance, and or if it's a state operated facility, what they'll do is they get funding per bed that they fill. So the sooner they get somebody in and the quicker they get them out, the more funding they can generate. So those state operated facilities, I mean, they're trash. They're absolutely trash. It's laughable. I mean, it's disgusting. You can't even get a cup to get water in these places, but they receive funding to help people with drug addiction, problems and to detox. It's crazy. So they don't even meet these patients' basic needs. They bring them in, they treat them like crap. The staff's bedside manner, it's like the DOC. It's like the Department of Corrections. That's the type of people you're dealing with in these state-operated facilities. I would not be surprised if some of those people in the state-operated facilities had actually been to prison. I swear to God, I would not be surprised. And, it's so funny I should say this. Did y'all hear that there was New York officers, side note, sorry, ADHD, they found out that there was illegal immigrants working as New York police officers yesterday. And I can't find a damn job. They did. They's illegal as hell, carrying around guns and everything. I cannot, I swear to God. I'll circle back in a minute and I'll look up the article. I swear. Anyways, rehabs. They get the patient in, state operated. They get the patient in long enough to collect funding from the state, kick that patient back out on the street most of the time. If they've been in long-term addiction mode, a lot of those people don't have family. It's complicated. How can I say this? So there's this thing called it's top tier homelessness, and I can't think of what it's called. Chronic homelessness. There we go. A lot of the patients that you would see come through a state operated facility are actually people who have been in chronic homelessness for years, if not decades. And sometimes these people come through just to use the facility as a landing spot to take a shower, eat a meal, and sleep. It's really sad. I see both sides when it comes to these state operated facilities, but at the same time, I've experienced them and I see what could be better, and I know what would have helped me. And I know what has helped me. It's disturbing the bedside manner, the way the basic needs are not met, and the way that they bring you in. You might be there for 2 or 3 days and then they kick you back out on the street. There's no, in my opinion, even though they offer a treatment plan, that's just for shows. Like it's just smoke and mirrors. That treatment plan, most of the time, is not executed. And the recommendations, they're not the best. They're not. They'll have a section for mental health services, for outpatient rehab services. They'll set you up with NA, but that's about it. And it's kind of up to the patient to continue that. But the whole 3 or 4, maybe 7-day stay that they were there, they didn't really get any one-on-one time with a clinical psychologist. They might have seen a doctor once, and that was probably to get prescribed Suboxone. Don't get me started on that. It's not good. They take these patients, they make money off of them, whether it's a state operated facility, they receive funding and grants, whether it's an insured place, like a fancy place out in California. Do you know how many friends I've had that went to those rehabs and then they come home, their parents have done dropped 20, 30 grand, and then they come home and they relapse a week later? It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. In my opinion, they do not want to give patients, and I'm not saying everybody that works at a rehab is like this, but I am saying a lot of these places are money driven, and they're not really concerned about patient care. They don't want to get them on their feet because then they won't make money. It's a revolving door of getting them good for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then they fall down and they got to go back to rehab and pick themselves up by their bootstraps. We wouldn't see as many people returning if the medical, we wouldn't see the revolving door of people if something was actually working somewhere. And I don't care what corner of the West you want to look, this problem is huge. Every single state has thousands of people that die every year from opioid overdoses. People are literally out here starving from, meth psychosis, running around in the street, jumping up on police cars, dancing naked and crap. Did y'all see that short? He had to have been on drugs. He was, at the very least, he was drunk. That was crazy. He rode that police car like a surfboard. He really did. I mean, I'll give him props for that. It was kind of majestic. Anyways, people are losing their minds, and rehabs have become a revolving door of money. And in my opinion, so many people could be helped if they were just given the right information. Something as simple as telling people, listen, are you serious about your recovery? How serious are you? For instance, this is a perfect example. We see a lot of patients, people who were dating someone. I actually had this problem with my son's father. We tried the recovery thing, it didn't work. A lot of people go to rehab together as couples. An intelligent, ethical, clinical psychologist would let both patients know the reality of that situation and the statistics of the probability of both of them staying clean and the risk of them getting back together after rehab after both of them is clean. Unfortunately, no rehab ever told me and my ex that we shouldn't be together, but we shouldn't have been. The thing about recovery is that that's you. No one can help you get clean, and no one's going to help you stay clean. A matter of fact, those toxic or unstable relationships could lead back to a relapse, and more often than not, they do. And anyone that is an ethical psychiatrist, therapist, drug rehab specialist, honey, I don't know. I don't care if you just an EMS worker and you got some dude back there on a gurney fiending for his girlfriend that's at the hospital. Keep it real. You have a ethical responsibility, a moral responsibility to keep it real. That is your job. Not once did anybody ever tell me, hey girl, you need to worry about you and you need to drop him like a bad habit and see what he's doing in 2 or 3 years. Y'all do have a child together, so, Nobody ever said that though, and that's what should have been said. I was an 18-year-old child. He was young. Someone should have said, listen, this is about you and your recovery. You need to focus on this recovery and you need to cut anyone and everyone out of your life. When you're first going into recovery, it's not good for new addicts to be around, or new recovering addicts to be around new recovering addicts. It's great in a space like NA or AA. And don't get me started. God, everything has it. I see both sides on everything. I guess NA and AA is great because it's a controlled environment with elders there that run the program. That's one of the probably the only safe space that I would recommend going around other struggling addicts. If you're in recovery, you need to stay away from other addicts. It's as simple as that. People, places, and things. I'm not saying, you got to shun somebody, but I am saying that, let's say you're at a cookout and there's a lot of friends around. Some people you know, some people you don't, and all of a sudden you got some dude coming in your space, trying to get you to drink, and he said he was in recovery and you're in recovery and now he's trying to get you to drink. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, and I'm just trying to say that in recovery, addicts have bad days, and sometimes those bad days form bad thoughts that lead to poor decisions, okay? Mistakes. The best way to protect your recovery is to stay away from other people that are, I would say, new recovering addicts. I think a lot of old heads, they have it pretty under control, and once you make it past a few years of sobriety, you don't even think about drugs anymore. As a matter of fact, when other people bring them up, you get quite uncomfortable because there's just so much uncertainty that comes with that side of life, and it's dangerous, and people are unpredictable when they're on drugs. But yeah, I would advise against staying away from anyone that's in recovery if you're in recovery. That's just me personally, but I don't like people, so it's probably not good for your mental health to isolate. But just be careful. But my point is that not once did any medical provider, therapist, or anyone ever tell me this, and that has been 90. And I've had trial and error. I stayed clean for about, I think, 8 years when I had my daughter, and so I did drugs, I got clean. I did drugs, I got clean. Okay, and I think this is like my 3rd round of being sober consecutively for years. And so I plan to keep it for the rest of my life, but trial and error, those few times that I relapsed, it was always people, the people that I was around. It gave me access to drugs. And they weren't even drug heads at the time. That's the crazy thing. But they were also in recovery. And they were having a bad day like me. And they're like, oh, I'll run around the corner. People, places, and things. So this time, I've managed to stay clean because, like I said, anytime somebody even brings up drugs, I run the opposite way. You have to be that way. But medical professionals don't tell people this. I think that it's hard to, I think that because I have attachment issues, it's easy for me to cut people off. It's actually my specialty. So it's hard for other people to do that, especially when it's your mother, your father, your own daughter. I didn't grow up in a family that did drugs. I do think when my mother and biological father was young, they probably partied and did their fair share of things. And my biological dad was an alcoholic. But I stopped seeing him when I was like 9 years old. And I remember him drinking. And I remember it impacting the family. So I guess that's a lie that my parents didn't drink or drug. But I'm talking about my stepfather and my mother, where I primarily grew up. I knew my dad smoked pot, but it wasn't like in front of us or anything like that, you know. I don't know, I'm grateful for that, but I can't imagine what it would be like to have a family member that maybe even introduces you to drugs. Maybe when you're young, and then you grow up. Say like my situation, you get introduced to drugs at 17, and then you grow up and you realize this is bad. You know, now you're a 37-year-old woman, and you live at home with your parents because y'all was all doing drugs together. This is very common. And you go to rehab, and you go to rehab, and you have to move back into that situation. Your chances of staying clean are, let me tell you, slim to freaking none. You probably got a better chance of damn winning the lottery, honey. Seriously. Seriously. Slim to none. Like 1 in a million shot of staying clean. I'm being for real. 1 in a million shot of staying clean in that type of environment. If we're talking the mama does drugs, still 1 in a million shot of staying clean in that environment. And there's some people, the whole family's on it. Mama, daddy, brother, uncle, everybody in the house damn doing drugs. Yeah, I'd probably be dead if I had that environment. I can't imagine. And I can't imagine growing up in that environment and then wanting to escape it and having to go back to it. Or at the very least, let's say that you have children and you want to let your daddy have time with his grandchildren. But every time you have to deal with him, he's passed out on the sofa, or, you know, he's acting a fool in your neighborhood when he comes to visit him, embarrassing you in front of your damn neighbors. You shouldn't care what people think, but also we can have some couth and class around the grandchildren, can we not? And the neighbors, can we please? Like, I'm the queen of trash, but Lord, I'll throw on some class real quick. I can't imagine. So it's going to be hard to help people when the reality is that people have to help themselves by ditching those toxic people in their lives. Like I said, I know that I can cut people out like down split ends. I do. I'll be just like, but a lot of people, that's extremely hard. Extremely, extremely hard. And I struggle with codependency myself, so I understand why. But that's the truth. They don't want to help people because of money. It's a revolving door. And hell, the DOC, the foster care system, they all make money off of everybody's poverty and situation and failures and downfalls and mistakes. Every single branch, from mental health services to DOC to the foster care system. It's all screwed up, man. It's sad. It really breaks my heart. And it's all about money. Even the foster care system. The misconception is that they got all these children they can't afford to take care of, and it's BS. You know how many donation, grants, funding, like that's in the budget, homie. Okay? Like the national, right? National budget, is that what it's called? Like the big one, not the local, but the big one. So, you know, and then social workers in some states can even get bonuses for adoptions, kickbacks. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I do believe in Jesus, Paisley. I like that name. Paisley. Don't come here saying stalkers' names. If you repeat a stalker's name, I gotta block you, homie. I can't be having you repping for the enemy. Lord, you might as well just said, Satan's after you, you little angel. I mean, you can't be repping for the enemy on my channel, homie. Sorry. Hasta mañana. Yeah, I like that name, Paisley. It sounds like it's southern. I bet you got something. Katie Paisley. Are you a boy or girl? Is that a guy's name? That's cool for a guy, too. I like unisex names. I like boys' names on girls. I think it's cute. Like Jamie. I got a friend on here named Jamie, and it's a boy. I grew up with a cousin named Jamie, but she was a she. I'm from Southern. I'm from the, oh, you mean the South? Southern? I don't know. Hey, listen, Walmart. Listen, and let me tell you something. You know how I'm always talking about Walmart stuff ain't worth a crap? Tell me why these actually feel pretty sturdy and pretty darn, they're filthy. They're men's Piranha. It's piranha. Piranha. It's French. Fromage. Like, oh my God. Remember that sandwich from freaking Panera? I said, can I get the fromage sandwich? She says, the fromage? I said, yeah, that one. Jesus, I'm an idiot, y'all. Piranha is the name of the brand. Piranha? I try so hard. Lord, they feel quality though. And the nose piece. So I bought another pair that were Panama Jack. I don't think that Panama Jack pair was UV protected, but it might have been. I might have just not been wearing them like I should have. And that's why you see me with them on today, because my eyes are burnt and I don't want to end up with like jaundice of the eyes or something. They already look yellow, and like, you see the white part, how red? It's like I got in a tanning bed without goggles on and laid there for 20 minutes. Like, God, it burns. It hurts. It feels like a film over my eyes. You ever got tanning oil in your eyes or something? That's what it feels like. So anyways, these are nice. My Panama Jack ones were, I think, $15, $14. They were really nice. But the nose piece immediately broke on those things within like a week of buying them. And I noticed it was loose, and I meant to super glue it back on, but I was living out of a car. It's a lot, okay? I forgot super glue. So they were broke. But I bought these. They're called Piranhas, I think. And I like them. They're a better quality than the other ones, I think. One thing I will say, if you're going to buy some of these, I know not everybody would make that kind of financial poor decision. But if you want some of these that are of great quality, Oakley is absolutely the way to go. I had a pair of Oakleys like this for, I think, about 4 years. And God, I mean, I could get mad and just throw them things in my dash, and they wouldn't do nothing. You could break the arms off of them and then snap the arms back in there. You can't do this with these. These got screws. The moment I set on them, so sorry, so sad. You snapped in half. Yeah, so I would recommend Oakley if you're gonna, and if you take good care of them and you don't slam them into your dash because you have anger problems, then they'll probably last you a good 10 years. But I would recommend putting them in the case, because I didn't, and all the casing started to fall off my glasses and they look crazy. But I rocked them out, because for $400, we rocking them out till they literally won't hang on our face no more, for that price. For that price, hell, even when they break, I might use them for something else. I don't know, dig a hole in the garden. I don't know. $400 is a lot of money for some glasses. Shit. But they was worth it. I got them in Key Largo. Hello, what is that? Oh, wow. I didn't even know what this was. Hello, Kimberly Holden and Brandy Joseph. Hello. What is that stuff? 25 XP. Y'all. Oh, there's a llama. I like that. Oh, God. Sorry. So, do y'all see that little purple thing? What is that? It just tells you. That's so cool. That's the first time I ever seen that. The number is because it says you're my number 2 fan. When I click on y'all's names, it says top fans. And it's got this list of like 15. That's so cool. And it's got this number next to y'all's name, and it says 75 XP next to your name, Kimberly. And Brandy, yours says 75 XP. I don't know what the hell this is. Lord, YouTube just implements new stuff and don't even tell us. I mean, you couldn't send me an email. I think it's for comments. Maybe. It is interesting. Probably, Manuel. I think 2 things can be true at once. I don't know what that is. Hello, Joseph. So weird, right? They just, hey, Rachel. They just implement all kinds of new stuff and they don't tell us. That is kind of cool. Well, I do like that because I don't have a good memory. And that's probably why I wasn't popular in school. I can't remember nobody's name. They probably don't like you when you keep going, hey, what's your name? During the middle of the damn school year. You know why? Because I used to move so much, and so it was hard to make friends when you're moving a lot. Anyways, I do like that because that helps me better keep up with what's going on and who's in the chat. XP, did my points add up? Still at 75. I don't know what those points are for. That's interesting. Hello, Skyman. Christian, Lost Soul, Robert, Haas, and Phoenix. Oh, it goes down to 20 people. 18, I think. 18. So it shows me 18 top accounts. That's actually cool. I do appreciate that. If I can just figure out what it's all for. Y'all. I wonder if that tuna's hot. I'm not really hungry, but I wonder if it's staying cold in that mason jar. I was hoping that glass jar in that book bag would help it stay cold. I bet you could freeze that, right? What if I froze it and then brought it with me? I don't know. I'm end up sick. I am in a park. YouTube always changing everything, but what they need to change is them buttons over there. I need a settings buttons where I click it and it scrolls down. Because where the buttons are for the creator app, your fingers hit it when you pick up the phone. So I hit the sound a lot and I can't hear. Oh, absolutely, Brandy. I agree with that. Yeah, tomorrow, Kimberly, we might go to a different park that has more amenities. The problem is the bigger parks, I don't get service. That's why I have to make shorts when I go to the bigger parks. Because I don't get service. Oh no, we can't start that. I need to make something in my cup. Y'all want to make a mocktail? This damn thing is so heavy. How do y'all carry 2 kids on the hip and that thing in a diaper bag and your purse? And honey, that thing makes my wrist hurt. I feel like I'm going to have arthritis or carpal tunnel by the time I'm 40. It is. I mean, that's a whole workout. You got 2 of these at home? Just get the dang lifting, girl. Shoulder day, front delts, side delts. Like, you don't even have to fill them up. They're so heavy. Nobody warned me. I wasn't ready. I got dainty little hands. I have man hands. I got dainty little hands. I can't be carrying this heavy cup. This is my strong hand. Y'all remember movie. I licked that, and I licked this, and I licked that too, and I don't know what that was, but I licked that too. Anyways, this was my strong hand, and now it's not. Carpet tunnel. Is that what I said? Probably. I make up my own words because my mouth is going so fast. I don't have time to fully think about the words and enunciate them. I do. I got man hands. I'm not the only one. I was watching one of my favorite creators cook the other day, and I saw her hands. I was like, damn, she got that same disease I do. She got them. She's got them elephant man hands like me. They do. They look like elephant man hands. Oh shit. If that guy from the Goonies was a hand. Hey, you guys. Oh God. Does anybody want a baby Ruth? God. No, but for real. I was like, damn. Them genetics be hitting us hard, girl. How we end up with our mama's faces and our daddy's hands. I do. My dad's feet. No, not the feet. I haven't seen the Goonies in forever. I probably ain't watched it since I was a kid. I don't think I remember the storyline. I don't think I even remember that's how long it's been. I need to watch that. I wonder if it's on YouTube. That's funny. I got my dad's mitts for sure. All his hair. Yeah, my dad was a professional painter. He owned a painting company. So, of course I'd end up with like painter's hands, you know? I don't think they're that bad. I think they fit me, but sometimes when you get close up on the camera, case in point, when you get right up in there, it looks so bad in comparison to your body because of the angle. So you gotta be careful when you're on camera because, yeah, Bigfoot, big hands. Oh my God, retired butcher. Dangerous to date. Yeah, they get kind of big. You know what I need to do? When I go over there and get my computer, I need to grab some of them old cell phones and pull out some pictures from when I used to do drugs. I got pictures where I had black marks all the way up my arm, y'all. I had to get all that removed. I did laser tattoo removal. They didn't know if it was going to work. I did it at this med spa in Charlotte, North Carolina. I did it probably 6 months after I got clean. So it would have been in 2021, like the spring of 21, or maybe the summer of 21. I don't know. Anyways, you can't tan. You got to go in there as pale as possible. You want to be full on Elon Musk creating a rocket, isolated for 6 months binge, you know. You want to be like that fluorescent white to get the tattoo removal. And they can remove anything like this. He didn't know if it would remove heroin. So what it was, and I actually have one right here you can see. He didn't get all that well. You see that black mark? Right there. I can't see. So there's a black mark right there next to the tattoo. Trying to see. Oh, that looks like a bruise, but it's actually remnants, right? Sorry, I ain't got enough fingers, y'all. Anyways, he said he didn't know if it was going to remove those spots off my body. And it wasn't just spots. My hands, every single, it was just, it looked like somebody had took a tattoo gun and went down my hands with ink. And it was between my fingers. It was on the, and matter of fact, I still have dots there. You can see a little bit of scar in there. This camera don't pick up nothing. That's where I used to go with needles. And so my hands were completely covered, and so was my arms. My leg, I had marks down my leg. And so I roll in to this med spa in Charlotte, and I'm like, you have a consultation with the doctor, and I'm like, can you get this stuff off my body? And he's like, I don't know, we've never tried. I think it'll work. Sure enough, after it was 4 sessions I did for $2,000. It's $500 a session. And sometimes it takes multiple times. sure enough, the first time they went over it, it looked 50% better the second time. And we actually did my hands first because that's what everybody could see. I mean, every time I would go to the gas station, hand somebody money, their heads, their eyes would go straight to my hands. It was bad. And it was to the point to where I wore long sleeves year round. Like I would order specialty shirts off the internet to cover up my track marks. And then when I worked at work, because I was a stripper, when I worked at work, I had waterproof makeup that would go over what was it called? Derma. That stuff's actually really good for like a wedding or something. Like, oh, definitely doing that for a wedding. You know what I mean? Covering all this shit up for a wedding. So, and actually, I'm planning to get this gone one day. So, anyways, $2,000, you can't tan, can't take ibuprofen. It was a really easy process. You have to wait a few weeks in between your sessions. And we started with hands, went up to arms. She got my legs, my feet, because the tops of my feet were covered. It was so bad. And then we did one final round. And I still have a spot or two that bothers me. You see that? That was in a video the other day. I still have a spot or two that kind of bothers me that I wish they would have got. But the more I tan, the less you can see stuff like that. And like this little spot right here, I know you could probably, or it's right there. You can barely probably see it. But, you know, sometimes if I'm super pale, you can see just the remnants. It looks like a bruise. It's not a bruise. It's actually heroin trapped underneath the skin. I used black tar. So, yeah, that leaves the worst scarring. The worst scarring. So it leaves like black marks all over your body. It looks like felled ink, like some toddler was doodling on your hands. I mean, and it was embarrassing. It was extreme. The way that I got it removed was I was working in construction and I was also dancing. And I told my boss at work how embarrassing it was to work every day, working in construction, being in all these high-rise buildings in Charlotte. It was embarrassing. And so he encouraged me to seek out tattoo removal. It was his idea. He was like, you should do this. I think it'll work. He's like, why don't you get it removed? And so I did a consultation, and they removed it. And, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy because, like, I don't have any scars. It doesn't look, you know, it doesn't look bad. I think I lucked up. I do have holes because I had, like, I would get sores towards the end. And let me tell you, that's one of the reasons I got clean. So what happened was I had one main supplier, well, actually two main suppliers, but one main supplier that I really liked. And so I would get his stuff all the time. Well, he was locked up. The feds picked him up. You know that I got a letter from him in the P.O. box? That was one of the last things I got. It was, I actually got it days after I closed the P.O. box. I received a letter at that post office, and it was from a federal prison. And it was a picture of him and a letter. And this is what I mean when I say people, places, and things. I don't think he's a bad person. I think that he's had to do what he's had to do to survive. He also has children. He was the primary breadwinner of the home. People, places, and things. I did not respond. I would not respond. I'm glad that he's doing well in prison, and I'm glad that he's about to get out. But no, that's a hard stop. You know what I mean? So anyways, I had him as my main supplier, and then the feds picked him up, and I had to get a different type of opiate, fentanyl. Do y'all know that I went to, like, this one particular day, I went to like 3 different people in one day and spent like $150 with each person, and I was still sick as hell. I was so done. I was so done. And then I found somebody in Charlotte that found me something that become, you know, more stable. And that's when I started getting holes. And I really, you know, before he got locked up, I had been talking about getting clean. I wanted to get clean. But that meant that I had to leave my ex. I knew that if I got clean, I had people, places, and things. I had to leave my $1 million house, and I had to get my shit together and get out of there. And it was going to have to be one of those, like, I packed my shit and secretly left, because if I try to leave while he's there, all hell's going to break loose. He might kill us. I don't know. So it was one of those things where I knew I wanted to be clean, but I didn't know how to get myself away from the person that I loved. So when I started getting holes in my body, this was before I worked construction. At this point, I was just dancing, and sometimes I didn't dance because I was in a relationship. It just depended on if I had left and was trying to get out of there or not. So, anyways, I knew I wanted to be clean, and that was before the guy got locked up. And then after I started getting holes in my body, I was done. I knew that, like, I had to get clean because I was not going to let my body like rot like that, you know? Even being a drug addict, I used to go every week and buy a brand new box of needles from the pharmacy. It's $13. If I got $3,000 to spend on heroin this week, I got $13 to make sure I don't get AIDS. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. I am ashamed of addicts that become careless to the point that they are just passing around hepatitis, honey. There is no excuse for that. If you got $1,000 to go towards whatever every week, you got $13 to run by the darn pharmacy at Walmart and get you 100 stack of fresh needles. You know, the main problem with that is, that I don't agree with, is that they've regulated those insulin needles to the point that addicts have to share needles because you can't access them. The only place you can get them is Walmart, and then there's such a stigma. They give you such a hard time. Y'all know I don't give a. And when I was on drugs, I was even worse. I dare you to say something to me about me protecting myself and other people. You want to give me a sideways look? Because I'm like, the pharmacists be acting funny when you buy the needles. They're so regulated that you cannot even buy fresh needles from places like CVS and Walgreens anymore. I feel like there was something going on where you couldn't. You could only go to Walmart. It doesn't matter. The point is that's how more disease gets spread. That's how more disease gets spread. I'm not condoning. I'm not saying we got to put clean, free needles in a vending machine and give it to them. That's not what I'm saying. That would make the problem worse. But what I am saying is that preventing people from having the medical necessities to do they're going to do their drugs. One way or another, you know, they're going to do them. It's unfortunate, but they're going to do them if they want to do them. So preventing disease is the best that we can do. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. So when I started getting holes, this one right here on my thumb, this was on here for 2 or 3 months before I finally, that was you would have thought that it was me almost losing my leg. That was the catalyst that got me clean. No, it was actually this on my thumb. And it was an open wound for about 3 months. I feel like it was open for a long time, and it would scab over and it would not heal up at all. It would not heal. And then I got this one right here that looks like a chicken pox scar. And then the big one was right here. I'm filthy. They had to cut my leg open, and it was actually wide. That leg had swelled up 3 or 4 times the natural size, and I couldn't even walk on it. And they had to lacerate it, puncture it, lacerate it, and then clean it out, pack it, and yeah, that was crazy. I think that was the first one, and then I had these 2 little ones, and the one on my hand, like I said, that I was done. I was like, I'm so done. This is crazy. I don't know why this is happening. And I was using clean needles. It was the dope. It was the dope. You know, that fentanyl, whatever they're putting in it, and you don't know. Like, and I used to watch my dude lace stuff with other stuff, and it was tar. So I know that they cut stuff, and you don't know what's going in there. And clearly this trank situation has led people to have a lot of wounds on their body. I mean, looking at people on Skid Row, I watch those videos from the soft white underbelly to other videos of little creators like myself that just go out and do street interviews, and it's heartbreaking to see how people's bodies are literally rotting in the streets. And the government doesn't give a damn. Matter of fact, the government will just give them more dope if they want it. Methadone. Some kind of MAT program. I mean, they're not helping, that's for damn sure. They're not helping. Yes, I did see that, Sam. Is that not insane? I mean, it was from her ear. It was just this huge, it looked like a growth. Do you know what? Do you think that that was, she was playing with, oh, that's right. That's right. I remember Mark asked her, he said, have you been playing with rats? And she was like, yeah. Girl, what the hell is that? The bubonic plague? Listen, bublon, bublonic? I think I got a speech impediment. Oh, bubonic, oh, thank you, bubonic plague. Now that I can read it, I can say it, okay? Is that what that is? Oh, thank you, Golden. Yeah, I guess killing myself internally and causing infection in my body with the drugs wasn't enough. It was only when, when I started to see the physical scars, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is too much. Can't do this. Like, we got to turn around. It's okay to kill myself by accident, but I can't be walking around looking like that girl from Soft White Underbelly. You know, it was too much for me. Ain't that sad? Vanity. And I ain't even like that. Well, good for you, Lisa. I'm glad that works for you. I don't think it works for a lot of people, though. We've talked about this. We've talked about methadone quite a bit. Let's see. What disease can you get playing with rats? Rat bite fever. Leptospirosis, spirosis, hantavirus, pulmonary syndrome, and salmonellus. Holy. And it comes from their poop. I knew that part. I knew that rat feces and stuff like makes people sick. Hantavirus. I know. I talk about God being in my recovery all the time. He got me off of damn Suboxone too. So grateful for that because I was on it way longer than it, with these types of medications, when we're talking about maintenance programs and using products such as methadone or Suboxone in patients, we don't really want to see them on them for decades. Suboxone, I would say 2 years, and methadone, a max of 5, in my opinion, and I'm not a medical professional, but I know a lot about addiction services, and these are not medications that we want to see patients on for extended periods of time. I have friends or associates that I used to know that have been on Suboxone for 20 years almost. I'm so glad that I was able to get off of that last year. Grateful, because it's a trap. It's a way to collect data on patients, and more often than not, the patient is receiving these medications, but at the same time, they're not receiving the psychological help that they need to go along with these medications. These medications are supposed to be used in unison with therapy and mental health services. It's part of a treatment plan for addiction recovery services. Mental health services plays a huge part in addiction. And so those things need to be addressed along with medication, and that's not typically what we see. I'm not a fan of medication. I don't think, I'm not saying that nobody needs medication, but what I am saying is that 70% of Americans are on a medication of some sort. 70%. It's not okay. It's crazy. They're making money off of us. I mean, look at the obesity epidemic. The FDA approved all of this horrible food with all these additives and processed refined sugar, processed crap. They created an obesity epidemic with allowing the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, to approve certain things that they knew was bad for us, that was banned in other countries. And then when the obesity problem gets out of line, they create a weight loss medication that's once again approved by the FDA to sell. So they created a problem, in my opinion, and then they created a drug to market to you to make more money off of you, as if making money off of you through food wasn't enough by making you big, because, some people clearly who have a problem with obesity spend a lot of money on food. It's crazy, man. Another infinity circle created by the FDA, the government, who I don't even know who created the FDA. I don't know. Yeah. Big Pharma is the same way. What did it say? 41 million Americans are on mental health drugs right now. Why not? Here's a thought. Why not teach people the secret to happiness? No, seriously. Because it's not rocket science. A good portion of it is diet, exercise, getting outside, being active in your community, being social in some manner. You need certain things to function and thrive in life. Self-appreciation, identity, teaching people how to come to these things. I don't know, but they don't. They're like, here, take this pill. Here's another SSRI for you. It'll make you happy for 6 weeks until you need to change to a different one. Hold on tight. Holy crap, Desert Holly, I'm so sorry. I've been on BP, bipolar meds, since I was middle school. I had my first heart attack at 31. Jesus Christ, that's so young. To have a heart attack? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Holly. Me too, Scott, every day. I'm glad you said that. Me too, every day. Me too. I'm dealing with actual mental issues. I am. Oh, I thought that said I'm dealing. I have dyslexia. Did I tell you I have dyslexia? You said and dealing with actual mental issues. I thought you were saying. I just make it up, don't I? Oh, was that blood pressure? I thought you were talking about bipolar. Lord, is that blood pressure? Well, I am. That might have been blood pressure pills. Are blood pressure pills known to cause heart attacks? I just found out the other day that birth control can cause infertility. Hormonal birth control is what allegedly is what's been causing all these women not to be able to produce. And listen to this shit. So first you create a pill that accidentally unfertilizes women. Then you create IVF to sell to these women so that they can implant eggs and have children. We need to do a deep dive on that. I'm going to go cook on that. And I'll come back with some facts tomorrow. For real, though, think about that. I never thought about that. So these women that were on birth control for long periods of time, they start giving it to them in damn high school. They used to come around to sex ed. Here, go see your local down the hallway nurse if you're being sexually active. They had at my high school, Ben L. Smith, they had a nurse's office that was specifically for STDs on campus. That's how bad teenage sex was at my high school. And Ben L. Smith is a large high school. It's like, I think it's 3 stories. I think it was probably built in the 70s. You could probably have 2,000 students in that building. It's huge, right? It's in the middle of Greensboro, North Carolina. They had an office that was a nurse's office, and it had all of this sex ed stuff all over the walls. And then they had birth control and all kinds of stuff that students can get. If you had an STD, they would medicate you there. Ain't that crazy? And when was that? That would have been like 2002. That's crazy. I forgot about that. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, they was trying to give you birth control back then. I remember that, right? Hormonal pills. Well, now all of those women that was on birth control from the early 2000s or the 90s until recent years, when they hit their 30s like me and they start settling down, they want to have children, they start trying to conceive with their brand new husband, and they can't have children. It's crazy. Now they got this new innovative medical procedure, IVF. Am I saying that right? I don't know nothing about it. I know that they can like take some eggs and put some eggs somewhere and then take some sperm and put some sperm somewhere. I don't know. I think they just like take it out the refrigerator and just drop it somewhere. Anyways, now they're selling that, and do you know how expensive that is? One of my favorite channels here on YouTube is a cute little couple. It's an American woman and an Italian man, and they're always reviewing food, and they started sharing their IVF journey. I don't even want to guess how much money they've spent just in, a little bit of time, because they've done several things. And people are willing to pay for that because they really want a child. That's wrong to pull on people's heartstrings like that. Man, I just want to punch some people in the face. I never thought about this, but think about it. It's just like, thank you, that girl Jams. Happy Monday. I never thought about that. Thank you so much, that girl Jams. Hold on, wow, I thought it was about 25 to 200,000 a year. $200,000. That is disturbing. That's some people's home. Oscar. My middle school had a daycare. Middle school. Listen, I think some things are getting better. Some things have gotten worse. There's pros and cons to every generation, I suppose. Middle school, that's 200,000. I wonder what the typical, y'all, that sounds like I'm on to something. I feel like a hound dog. How much money does IVF typically cost? And I think these people even flew overseas to get this medical care. It says 15 to 20,000, but it can vary. And that's probably just, it don't tell me what it's for. I was gonna say that's probably just a damn transplant or like move your eggs. I don't know how they do it. The base cost of IVF cycle, which includes monitoring, appointments, egg retrieval, fertilization, and embryo transfer, can range from 9 to 14,000. It's much more than that. I've seen other family channels that actually their eggs took root. The stork dropped off a baby. I don't know what it's called. It happened, and they were able to conceive a child. There we go. And they listed over $100,000. And I've seen several of these families. I thought it was in the hundreds of thousands. I guess if your seed doesn't sprout, then you have to try again. And that's really when the money starts to rack up. And that's what I'm saying. These people are desperate to have a child. And yeah, every time that they have to use the service, they're having to pay more money. Now this is saying 40,000 per cycle. Per cycle, what does that mean? See, that's what I'm saying. Per cycle. And you can probably have to do multiple cycles to damn conceive. Especially if you already, like, his swimmers aren't strong and your eggs aren't plump. I don't know. We got fam. I'm hungry. I feel like I got stuff all around my face, y'all. I do. Ew. Probably dirt from the ground. Y'all, I had to get out the sun. I was gonna burn. I was gonna burn out there. I know it rained, so it like washes up dirt. That's a whole darn money racket in itself. I'm just realizing that. What else do they make off it? Hold on. How much is the infertility medical industry worth? Oh, nailed it. Global fertility market encompassing service and treatment for infertility was valued at $34 billion in 23 and is projected to reach $62 billion in 10 years. Hold on. Statistical study of hormonal birth control causing infertility in women. Freaking hate you, Google. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. I've read it before. I've studied this like 10 years ago, so. I want my sandwich. You're wrong. Already had it. My case was dismissed. Thank you. You know, it's crazy how if you call the courthouse and you explain that you're being stalked and that you have all these police reports of being stalked, and then you show them videos of you being stalked, how they'll switch some shit up for you. How about you mind your own business? It's crazy. Got 2 ongoing investigations right now for being stalked. And then the stalkers, I know, go get a life. I know they're so obsessed. They don't have a job. They have nothing going on. You think they care about damn statistical studies? No, they don't even care about their own selves. Belief that contraception affects future fertility persists despite evidence of pregnancy rates 1 year without stopping contraception compared to non-users. Certain contraceptives, in particular the injectable, may delay the return of fertility for 6 months, while others, such as the copper device, the IUD, show immediate return to fertility. So it looks like oral contraceptive pills cause minimum delay. That's the problem, though. Our bodies are changing. We're constantly evolving. And it says minimal. Everybody is going to react different. I'm telling y'all, one of these days, $2018, I'm looking, oh no, let's go back, 2002, let's go. You can't trust nothing they print nowadays. Sucks. You're always better off going and finding something before '09, because that's when shit went downhill. Prolonged use of oral contraception before a planned pregnancy is associated with decreased risk of delayed conception. Hold on one second. Where's it at? I accept it, but where's it at? You do not have access to this article. What the flip? That's messed up. So messed up. Brain tumors in some women. Did y'all see that girl that went viral the other day for pulling out her IUD? Crazy. She said she couldn't afford to go to the doctor to get it removed. So here we go. Numerous studies have demonstrated some delay in the time to conception in previous users of oral of damn birth control pills, honey. You know, ain't it crazy that when I go find a study from before '09, it tells the truth, but anything written after '09 is a flat lie? Because I just Googled and asked Google if oral contraceptions, if they cause infertility in women, and it said no, but here's a study from '09 that says that it does, that it has. It causes delay. It causes a delay in a woman being able to conceive. And matter of fact, even more reason to lie, because they're going to make money off of it through IVF. They don't want the truth that these things cause infertility in women, or at the very least, a prolong and being able to conceive. Because then, if the women can't conceive, they're going to go get IVF, and they're going to make more money. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this should be wild when I be thinking about stuff like this. And it's very clear that it's by design. Because this article states that there is research to support that people who took these oral contraceptives for long periods of time, they were unable to get pregnant. And now we have, and then this was before, there was processed food in 2002 when this was written, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. You got to add all of these little factors in with this to really see the impact of infertility. You add in the processed food, the lack of exercise, the lack of being outside and thriving in sunshine. All of those little things make things like infertility worse because you're not taking care of yourself. It's going to make anything worse. If you got the flu, that's going to make it worse if your basic needs, you know what I mean, are not being met in the ways that they're supposed to be met. I don't know, man. It's probably a combination of things like hormonal birth control, the food, once again, all those little things that make up a bigger picture. Let's see. There's a limited amount of data on the time to conception in women stopping extended cycle and continuous use of OCs. The data suggests that subsequent return to fertility is generally comparable to that of cycle OCs. The IUD girl. Yeah, I know, so weird. I couldn't imagine either. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Is it Tawana? I'm telling y'all, I've read more studies in the past, like 10 years ago, that was talking about hormonal birth control. I would stay away from it, honestly. The best thing you can do is to just close your legs. Oh, what is this? Suki. Science Direct. This is a 1982 article, Fertility Following Discontinuation of Different Methods of Fertility Control. The possibility of permanent sterilization, honey, that's what it is. I just don't know how to say it with the T and the Y. Following use of modern contraceptive agent is a concept which causes great concern amongst members of the lay public. This might disappear one day. However, a thorough review of the literature gives a great deal of reassurance on this topic. Oh, Suki. So they knew that it caused the delay in pregnancy. And matter of fact, here's what I'm going to say. It probably didn't at first. It probably wasn't to the point of women being like infertile at first. I bet you with the crappy food that people eat plus the birth control, I'm sure that it's made these infertility, in my opinion, I'm not a medical professional. I just got a lot of common sense. Well, enough. And in my opinion, a poor diet, lack of sleep, high stress, it's going to make something like infertility worse because your body is under extreme duress, okay? It's having to work double overtime to process all that crappy ass food you done stuff in it. So it says in this 1982 analysis, the combined oral contraceptive pills causes a slight delay in pregnancy. And the injectable contraceptives, a moderate delay in the return of fertility following discontinuation of the medication. But there is no evidence of a greater likelihood of permanent infertility than in normal population. Listen, Where's all the good doctors in the world? You need to do a study, honey, because this is $1 million lawsuit just waiting for somebody to snatch it up and make some millions. It should not be hard to prove at all that birth control is the culprit, in my opinion. I do think that long-term use of these oral contraceptives is making it harder for women to get pregnant. That's my belief. And it's clear from this 1982 study, they knew that this could be a problem. Now they're trying to distance themselves from sterilization, but they're saying that there's a delay in pregnancy. And here's the thing, once again, food and diet. You add that, who knows what could happen. Epidemiology, I ain't even gonna try. Studies do not indicate an increased risk of infertility following an IUD use, but it seems likely that there must be a small number of IUD users who develop permanent, ineffective damage to the fallopian tubes. I kind of knew. I've heard that those things are painful. I've had friends that said they were painful, and then I had other friends that said they weren't. I've never had one. But yeah. Oh, hello, Evan. Good afternoon. Let's see here. 2006. Here we go. I wish that other article had more. So the use of contraceptive pills increased very rapidly during the 1970s. You know what happened in the 1960s, right? They was all wild rabbits. They sure were. And so by the 1970s, the government said, we got to do something. Everybody's pregnant. They passing around disease. And we can't seem to get them out of damn grassroots. What was that? No, Woodstock. We can't seem to get all of the youth have gone wild at the Woodstock. We got to get this under control. Let's create some contraceptive. And I don't know if it was the government. I'm talking out my left nipple. Let me see. Hold on. Hold that thought. Let's see if it was the government that created this problem. Who did the government fund birth control? Yes. You don't say. How did I know? So let's talk about it. Yes, the government does fund birth control, and I agree. Listen, if women need options, and not only, I don't think a lot of people realize that sometimes contraceptive is a way for young women to keep themselves safe, and so it should be readily available for any and every person that wants it, whether man or woman. Condoms, stuff like that should be readily available for each and everybody that wants that stuff. But also, it's a personal choice to take birth control. Everybody's gonna have different strokes for different folks, right? Some people might not care about the risk. For me, I gained 80 pounds in a year. They didn't tell me it was going to make me do that. When they said it was birth control, I didn't know that they were going to, it was going to morph me into somebody else, because nobody wanted to mate with me after that. I guess that was the birth control part, right? It makes you so big that people are terrified of you. So in that aspect, it worked. Nobody wanted to mate with me because I was like 3 people. But for real, it's a personal choice, and I think that ladies should have the option, but also they should know the risk benefits, the risk that come with these medications. That's what I have a problem with. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Did you tell her that it might cause problems after she was on it for 15 years? That's the problem, and that's what we don't have studies on. But they don't want to do that study, because if they did that study, then they would have to admit some guilt. They'd have to take some kind of accountability, and then they wouldn't be able to make as much money as they're making in the medical industry selling IVF. People would stop taking birth control. they probably stay abstinent, and sex sells. So you see what I'm saying? They don't tell people to risk, but they never do with these medications, any of them. So it says the government does fund birth control programs like Title X and Medicaid. Title X is a federally funded program providing low cost or free contraception and other reproductive health services to low income individuals. Let me tell you something. So when I go and I get my lady parts checked, this is what I go through. And you can do this Title X program through Planned Parenthood. First of all, I still end up paying $389 a visit. Yeah, they make it sound so lovely, don't they? I still end up paying almost $400 for what they call it, a PAP. And then the bedside manner in these places, Planned Parenthood, it's a joke. Those people are evil. They're demonic. They're rude, condescending. And then you sign me up for this program that's supposed to knock off some of the costs, and I still got to pay almost $400. It was crazy. Anyways, and they treat you like crap in there. Anyways, blah, 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 girl power. This program, Title X, established in 1970, ensures access to affordable contraception and other reproductive health services for individuals with low incomes or those lacking insurance. No, did the government fund the creation of birth control? There we go. You gotta be specific. You gotta be Pacific. Yes, the U.S. government. It's telling me, I just am so tired of running through all these damn useless articles. Let's talk about it. It looks like funding for the contraceptive development. Y'all, I'm so bloated. If I look crazy and you see my gut, don't judge me. I don't feel good, okay? I'm a little indisposed at the moment. Let's see here. Funding for the contraceptive development. Fostering creativity and stimulating innovation in the field of contraceptive development. No, who made it? Hold on, here we go. So it looks like the Rockefeller family, who was like a pretty prominent, rich-ass family. They first organized support of reproductive research in the United States, and it was provided by the Rockefeller family in 1921 through the Committee on Research and Problems of Sex, which was organized by the National Academy of Sciences. The committee operated until 1963, when the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development was established. It began. Is that the government? That's the government. Is that the government? Hold on. I'm confused. The Rockefeller family in 1921 started research, and then they gave over creative control to the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. Is that the government? Yeah, the Rockefellers, we should definitely talk about them sometime, because that family tree is crazy. That would be complex. I do think that this National Academy, or this National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, I do believe that that's the government, but I could be wrong. Anyways, that's probably what Health and Human Services is now, because this was in 1921. And they actually took over control in 1963, and they began funding research on human reproduction and contraceptive methods. Let me make sure that's the government, because I just need to get my facts right, okay? The National Institute of Child Health and Human Services. That's not it, homie. 1963. Yes. 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 It was the government. In 1963, the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, the NICHD, was established by President John F. Kennedy. This was part of a broader effort to address mental retardation, including the establishment of mental retardation research centers. Additionally, the Community Mental Health Centers Act was signed into law, aiming to provide mental health care in community settings rather than institutions. You know, I'm really glad that my uncle was severely mentally retarded. And I'm glad that he lived when he did. I think that he probably lived during the best possible era to get medical treatment for his disability. The bedside manner in these places nowadays, these adult facilities with people that have, mental disabilities or mental retardation, extreme forms of autism, dyslexia, extreme forms of, a lot of these people are nonverbal. They can't respond. I had a friend of mine that was a school teacher. She was a special ed teacher, and it's hard. It's really hard on her. Um, my uncle though, he would have lived probably 1940s and he had a heart attack and died when I was like 11. But they took really good care of him. And I remember him living with my grandma for like the first 8 years of my life or whatever. He was always around. Arnold was always around. He loved to walk, y'all. He'd just walk and walk and walk. I guess he just liked the freedom of walking. I guess some disabilities are kind of confining. So he lived with my grandma for years. And then they put him in this home. And he got him a girlfriend. She lived there too. There's probably laws against that now. But anyways, they were really happy together living in like this adult group home. And then when I was like 11, Mama got a call that he was at the hospital and he had a heart attack. It was really sad. But they took really good care of him. And I remember all of the workers at the home were really good to him. And you don't get that anymore in these places. Most of them are crap holes. They got on masks when you go in there to interview, and they act like everything's all great there. And then when you're gone, they're treating your loved one like crap. You got to be careful. A lot of evil people in the world. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Hello, confused goldfish. Me too. I'm Dory. I'm pretty safe today, chilling at the lake. I need to drink some water. I've been running my mouth. I need to take a break. Time out. All right, first of all, what have we established? The Rockefellers started development, the ball rolling on the sexual medical industry. Then, in 1963, for some reason, John F. Kennedy created the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, and in doing that, he took over all of the research on contraceptives and like research, all that sexual research. Okay. Okay? Water. I need water. I'm sitting here like I own this place. Y'all see me with my shorts all jacked up, looking crazy. Got them all rolled up. Probably got stuff hanging out. Sorry. I told you I was indisposed at the moment. The sun's done went away. I'm glad because I wanted to get a little sun. I got like 30 minutes. That's more than enough to produce vitamin D. But I don't want to be out there too long. Is this hot? Oh, it's semi. I kind of want my sandwich. Is that like a pickle fork? Is that supposed to be used to get pickles out or something? What in the 1981 is going on? It literally looks like something out my mama's kitchen. Oh. He's hungry. It's a fromage. It's just hummus, ham. Hummus. Did I say that? Y'all stay clean. I'm gonna do this liquid IV. sugar free. Damn, this thing's like all broken. No, go away. I know, I love hummus. It's one of my favorite foods. Wow. I'm telling you, I can't even eat a sandwich in peace without somebody bothering me. At this point, it's just water. I mean, there's a couple of ices in there, but there wasn't none of that flavor from this morning. Might not be. Oh, I need some water. Shit. It was like... That felt like 20 Sour Patch Kids just kicked the back of my throat. Apparently, I didn't shake it up good. It wasn't dissolved, so when I inhaled it, I just got powder, sour powder to the back of the throat. That's better. Damn, did I burn myself or something? Okay. Y'all, I got callus on my hands from riding my bicycle. I should make some funny SNL skits with my bike. Look what I can do. I'm sorry. I think it would be funny. Who wants to come be in my SNL skit? You gotta bring your bike. Oh, and I'm gonna need you to wear some like 80s style sneakers with like some leg warmers. Maybe some of them spandex pants with the guard strap on the bottom of them. No, but for real, how funny would that be? Just look what I can do. Look what I can do over and over while jumping dumb shit. I'm such a child. YouTube doesn't pay. I couldn't afford the truck. Life sucks. That's how the, ooh, cookie. I was about to say that's how the cookie crumbles. That made me want a cookie. I'm telling you. Have y'all seen those, it's 3 girlfriends. And they do theatrical shorts where they're singing. It's so funny. I wish I knew their names. They do funny skits with music where they're singing and it's comedy. Where's my tuna? What the hell? Oh, there it is. It's got a hair on it. Yeah, I can't remember what those girls... I noticed them around Christmas. Oh my God, my phone's too hot. It's saying it's too hot. I can't charge it because it's too hot. Buy a glass phone, they said, because that's common sense. Phone's gonna explode. Better set it down. It's too hot. Poor thing's overheating. $1,000 phone overheating. Makes me so mad. For real though. The hell. I mean, it is waterproof. I learned that the hard way. I dropped it in a porta potty. Thanks for asking. Yes, I went swimming for it. It's actually a wild ass way to find out it's waterproof. Here, take my phone. Go take a picture in the ocean. No, I don't want to get it wet. No, it's waterproof. How do you know that? Because I dropped it in a porta potty at a rodeo. Oh, God. I was so happy when I reached into that water and didn't feel. I just felt water, okay? It was bad. Oh, God. Y'all. Hello. I'm thirsty. That hummus looks like cheese. I swear to God, if you don't go away. Mm. I love sandwiches. Some of y'all ain't screwed right. Stop looking for love in all the wrong places, for you end up dead. Like, for real. I'm the farthest thing from being your next baby mama, honey. I might be the one that put you in a damn casket. So exciting! Can we flirt? Ew. I'm trying to eat lunch. You're gonna make me throw up. Where are the flowers? Damn, that cold drink's good. I want a Mountain Dew when it's hot like this. And I don't even like soda. Well, I like Mountain Dew. Y'all, we might have to get something sweet. I think my sugar's low, so I need a donut. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Your sugar gets low, you gotta get, I need like a chocolate bar or something, you know? All that sugar-free stuff I got, it ain't hitting like I need it to. So I might just have to get me something sweet. Why is it even better cooled off? It's not hot. Oh, it's spicy. Tuna. A beautiful Greek yogurt tuna with fresh onions. You can't see shit. Or else, those are bean sprouts. I know. So good. Tuna is actually a really cheap lunch. Those tuna packs, almost 20 grams of protein. You can usually get them for $1 to $1.50, depending on the grocery store. Do not buy this from Publix. Jesus Christ. They be paying like $3 for a pack of tuna, and it's $1.25 at Walmart. They drive me crazy. I wish I had the time to go stand outside of Publix with a sign that says, "Why are you paying triple the price?" Have we learned nothing from the recession and then the pandemic about money? Just because you got it don't mean you need to spend it. I want to cry every time I go into Publix. Because I usually they're so expensive that I know I'm going to feel some type of way if I got to go in there. So the only time I go in there is when I absolutely have to. It's the only store in the area or something. And every time it feels like I'm committing a major sin. I come out of there praying, crying, clutching my pearls. You know what really set me off? During COVID, I was dating somebody and he had kids, and so we was grocery shopping for a family of 4, right? Well, this person was bougie, and they typically shopped at that expensive ass place for no reason, and they were terrified of Walmart. I've dated several people like this. What is wrong with some of y'all? I dated another dude that was terrified of Walmart, and he's like, I'm not going into that place. I'm like, what do you mean that place? You you act like I asked you to come visit me in prison or something. Like, what? It's a Walmart. You know what else? I could not talk that man into a Dollar Tree. He said it was nasty. Anyways, we go into Publix, and it was during COVID. And the liquid IVs, I think you get 6 of those in there, right? The liquid IVs was like $18 for that small package. It's probably more than that now. But at Walmart, it was only $8. I couldn't do it. We didn't finish that grocery trip. We went to Walmart. Listen, you can do your shenanigans on your shenanigan days. When you around me, we gotta act like we got some sense. We can't be spending triple on groceries, homie. Just so you look good to the neighborhood. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Yeah, I know. I have one of those. I do have it. It's right here. And I don't know if it works as good as that. Hold on, I'll show it. Oh, you know what? I don't have it in here. I lightened my load. I don't have it in here. I usually have, it's the ice pop or icicle pop from Liquid IV that everybody's been trying to drink. They have it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know about it. I don't know if I like it. And I don't know if it works as good as the Liquid IV, but some people swear by it. Oh, yeah. I might start playing into shit, y'all. I might start playing into shit. I love it. Watch this out. People are so dumb. I'm glad to know that these losers sit around talking about me and just dreaming of me, and they just love me so much. I mean, really though, think about it. Who comes back for more when they've already been told, like, no, don't come around here. We don't want to see your face. It's weird. It really is. People like that need to be on a watch list now that I think about it. I was trying to show some compassion, and it slipped away from me. No, they need to be on a watch list, weirdos. Sorry. I tried. We'll try again tomorrow. Yeah, that's weird. Hello, Danny. Yes. Thank you, Dwayne. Is that Dwayne? I hope y'all are having a great day. I'm beloved, you too. It's nice out here. I'm glad it's not too sunny. I think the humidity dropped off some, and I think that's why it feels better. Because it was, this morning, it was hot. Feels like 94, 60% humidity. And it might actually rain tonight. That tuna is loud. But God, was it not good? You gotta put the onions in it. I love tuna. I'm not a picky eater at all. I mean, I'm not necessarily keen on, like, sardines or anything, but I'm not picky. Got a lot of trash. I need this drink. God, days like today when it's hot, you need that cold drink. Like I got stuff on my face and I just brushed my teeth. I know, that's crazy. Oh, there ain't no AC around here. It's on fire. Canada wildfires. Anyone dropping names will be blocked. Nobody cares. Do I look like I give a fuck? Look out there. Do you see any to give? I don't care who says what. I find it humorous. Thank you for the publicity. Thank you for the publicity. It's, in fact, simplicity. Michigan. I only saw one of them. What other church was shot up? That's crazy. I need to brush my teeth. I'm gonna drink that stuff first because if I brush my teeth and then drink that, it won't taste good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw the one at the church in Kentucky. That's crazy. You shouldn't be asking women where they're located. God, he's done asked like 3 times. People give me anxiety. Why is everybody shooting each other? They're losing their minds. Jesus. You can't go nowhere no more. Not even to worship the Lord. You can't even go to the Lord's doorstep without fear of being shot dead in the street. I mean, it's crazy. You see where I be. This is why. It's one of the main reasons I didn't go see Lilo and Stitch. I didn't even want to be in that theater. Like, I just get uncomfortable in places like that. I do. It's going. Live in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely. I'm surprised there's not a lot of people that come to this park. I've seen like 5 or 6, but not a lot. Probably because there's no amenities. What are they supposed to do? They can't swim. They can't mountain bike. Come read the park kiosk, the little park markers. Y'all, I'm nervous about finding a hairstylist, but I've got to do something. What the hell? There's a tick. Damn it. Crawling up my leg. Whew. My hair is like all in my nose and stuff. Hello, Val. Yeah, I can see your comment. It is a dirty river. It's a park. Yeah, I know. I didn't know it was going to be dirty. Well, the reason it's dirty is because it rained and it kicks up the sediment from the bottom of the stream. Damn ticks. I threw them on the ground. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Lyme's disease. Ain't there one too where you can't eat beef? Wish I had something sweet. I want like a donut. I want to make bad decisions. chocolate, and maybe some pecans, caramel. Sounds like a turtle. Turtle cheesecake, turtle cheesecake. I want something sweet, a donut. I gotta get my strength up. Just little. Be out here sweating my ass off. I wonder if that cupcake shop is open. Probably not. It's Monday. Ain't nothing open on Monday. Not even the Chinese food place. You heard me right. It's crazy. I don't understand. Cupcake near me. Curbside? Oh, I've been missing out. No wonder. Where's that at? Where is that? I don't even see that place. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they're closed. Closed. Bake me happy. What's the hours? Closed Monday, Sunday. She's only open 4 hours on Saturday. Tuesday through Friday, she's open for 6 hours. But we were over there last weekend. She was not open but one day. So maybe she was closed for the 4th. That's like way too far for me. It's a bicycle. Oh, not my PMM BDDD MDPD state. Absolutely not. I'm not getting out here on the road when I'm premenstrual and ready to kill somebody already. Nope, not that far. It's 5 miles. Probably holiday. Well, Bob's Restaurant, which is the only place in town to get like good vegetables and stuff. They have really good breakfast and stuff. Bob's Restaurant closed for almost 2 weeks for the 4th. And it's the only damn restaurant that's over there. And they closed for 10 days. I think it might have been over 10 days. During COVID, YouTube had a video talking about COVID causing people to not be able to lose weight. Yeah, oh, that's what I was looking for, birth control. Bum-da-da-dum, back to my mission. Was I on the other phone? JFK. Alright. JFK. Thank you. Damn, you New York Times, you ain't worth a shit. In 1963, Kennedy was asked whether he thought the U.S. should supply funds for international birth control studies. The president replied, quote, "If your question is, can we do more? Should we know more about the whole reproduction cycle? And should this information be made more available to the world so that everyone can make their own judgment? I would think that that would be a matter which we can certainly support." So they were coming at this as a reproductive research, but they were also funding They were also funding the creation of birth control. Kennedy, hold on, blah, 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 blah. And that was huge for the time because it, like, kind of gave women rights over their reproductive organs, in a sense. I mean, it says Kennedy's statement represents a significant revolution in the attitude of the American government. He affirmed two principles: freedom of research on population matters and freedom of every nation to use the resulting knowledge in determining its own policies. Looks like he did a lot for women's rights. JFK. Kennedy. Yes. I don't see where it's talking about birth control. Hold on. So this article is from 2010, and I don't quite understand. It says Kennedy, the Peel, and conservatives for contraception. 50 years ago, when the West Virginians handed Kennedy a victory, it was only after the Democrat promised again and again to restrict their access to birth control. That's right, the conservatives demanded their right to choose. All right, let's get in. So there's some religion and more politics behind this birth control that I don't understand. Today is West Virginia's Democratic primary, almost 50 years to the day when it was touted as the on whether a Roman Catholic could be elected president. That primary, held on May 10th, 1960, came a day after the Food and Drug Administration's approval of the birth control pill. 2 days in May that showed just how impossibly inverted American politics can get in a relatively short period of time. For when West Virginians handed Kennedy a 60.8% victory and thus proved to the country that they were not bigots, it was only after the Democratic promised and promised again not to restrict their access to birth control. That's right, the conservatives demanded their right to choose. Catholic opposition to birth control was one of the most often cited policy areas latched onto by the anti-Protestants. Anti-papal Protestants? Lord have mercy. Oh God. I'm high. Y'all want a strip? You want a piece of a strip? People are crazy. So anyways, President Eisenhower also opposed exporting contraception to third world countries where population growth allegedly outstripped American aid, and fear was that the President Kennedy would restrict its use further. So JFK told Bethany College students, "I may be opposed to birth control as a member of my church, but I have no desire to impose my views on others." Another voter asked what he would do if faced with a political directive on birth control from his archbishop, and Kennedy said, "I simply would not obey it." So So it looks like Kennedy he didn't like birth control, or because of his religious beliefs, he didn't think that people should be using it, you know? All, please donate to my channel. That's how your girl's able to afford food, tuna, and sandwiches. Please donate to my channel. Thank you. And like this video for a free way to support me. Thank you. Oh, I should have been saying that like 3 times a video. I forget. Thank you to the trolls for reminding me. Let's see here. In July of 1960, a birth control advocate, Margaret Sanger, said that she would, quote, find another place to live if Kennedy were elected. I don't understand why you're telling me this. I don't care. I want to know who funded this crap and how long it took to formulate and test. So the government did spend funding to, when did the government allow for birth control to be used? The Supreme Court in the U.S., access to use birth control is generally permitted with some limitations. But when did they make this decision? Like, when did birth control hit the market? 1960. It was approved by the FDA. Holy crap. Listen to this. The Food and Drug, when is this from? June of 2000. So this is in June of 2000. Yeah, I know. You'd think that YouTube would help me out, but they're not worth a darn. Not worth a darn. History of oral contraception. The Food and Drug Administration approved the first oral contraception in 1960. Within 2 years of its initial distribution, 1.2 million American women were using it. Is that not crazy? So they knew immediately that women were going to use this stuff because when it first hit the market, millions of them flocked to it. Over a million. Since its introduction, more than 300 million women worldwide have used the pill. It was originally used to control menstruation in the 1960s and to treat acne. Birth control pills are now used to treat endometriosis, PCOS or whatever, POS, irregular periods, and more. It's crazy. Ain't that crazy? They should have took all the money they've spent on making birth control and they should have actually put it into some real women's research and figure out why women keep getting POS, PCOS, PMDD. Let me tell you something I found out doing a little research on my own. Do you know why you get PMS? Because of low magnesium levels. The worse your period cramps, the worse bloating you feel, the worse the PMS symptoms, the more deficient you are in magnesium. If you take a magnesium supplement, you won't hurt. You won't have PMS. Your doctor ain't going to tell you that, though. They're going to give you birth control. Thank you, Miss GT500. Thank you so much. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Magnesium deficiency. That's what PMS is stemming from. When have you ever heard a gynecologist tell us that? When have they said, oh, you'll complain like, oh, because they ask questions. When have they ever said, oh, girl, you just need to get some magnesium in you? Man. And now that I know this, now I know how crooked they are and corrupt they are, I actually go in there and I bait them with questions and comments just to see what they'll say. Just to see what crappy medical advice they give me. Like, it's crazy. Hold on one second. Magnesium deficiency and PMS. Magnesium deficiency and PMS. Oh my God, deficiency in PMS. No. Magnesium deficiency, PMS. Oh my God, I give up. I'm just going to have to type it. I'm going to have to be lazy. Magnesium and PMS. Here, I meant to share this with y'all last week. Thank you so much again, Miss GT500. And thank you, Olivia. I like your accent. It ain't that bad today. And let me tell you something. I've tried this. This is true and tried. Every time I take magnesium, I don't have PMS symptoms. If I forget it, then I feel like crap. Magnesium can help elevate some PMS symptoms due to its role in muscle relaxation, hormone regulation, and reducing inflammation. Matter of fact, like taking a few hundred milligrams a few days before your period, it's going to level out your period, and then take it during your period. You're going to feel so much better. Your cramps won't be there. Your back won't be hurting. That through and through hurt that you have from your back to your cervix. You won't have that feeling. So it helps with muscle relaxation, hormonal balance. Magnesium plays a role in regulating hormones like estrogen and progesterone, and we were learning about that earlier, which can impact mood swings. This particular type of magnesium you're going to want is the magnesium carbonate. Because there's several kinds. You got to be specific. We got to be specific about it, okay? Different types of magnesium. This specific type of magnesium is going to be it's the glycinate. G-L, get pen and paper. Glycinate. That's what you want. Magnesium. I think it's glycinate. That's for, magnesium glycinate is favored for sleep and anxiety due to its calming effect. That's crazy. I took one of those a while ago. Maybe that's why I mellowed out. I forgot that. Remember, I dug that magnesium pill. I usually take it at night, but sometimes it'll give me heartburn the next morning. So I've been trying to take it during the day. I do feel mellow. You too, Alexis. Magnesium glycinate. Yep, that's the one I like, Robert. It's perfect. That's a good one. I'm telling you, if it's the pills, be careful, because some of them, like any vitamin, will burn your stomach. Don't take them on an empty stomach. So it helps with female hormonal balance, the estrogen and progesterone. It can also help the body's inflammatory response. So if you get a lot of swelling or maybe you have some underlying conditions. Say you got arthritis and you got bad PMS symptoms. I'm sure if your uterus is swelling and you already got arthritis and you swelling up too, it's just gonna make things even worse. But that magnesium is an anti-inflammatory and it'll help reduce the overall inflammatory state of your body and also PMS symptoms. It helps me, y'all. That's my favorite. That has been my favorite supplement, magnesium. I sleep so much better when I remember to take it. I think better. I can actually like talk about stuff that's important and not forget the topic. I like it. I like that magnesium. I'm glad that I got those pills at the Dollar Tree for like $8. No, it was the Dollar General. Dollar General. Hello, Corey. Oh, I can't see y'all. My eyes are burnt. So be careful though. You don't want to take too much of that stuff. It can upset your stomach. Oh, they got a whole article from like 2011. Magnesium in the menstrual cycle. As a clinician with more than 20 years experience, I regularly prescribe magnesium for premenstrual syndrome, which is PMS, PCOS, and perimenopausal symptoms. I've come to rely on magnesium as one of my favorite natural treatments for reducing stress, improving insulin resistance, and relieving symptoms like dysmenorrhea, painful periods, and hot flashes. Oh, it probably lowers your cortisol. Magnesium calms the nerves and reduces the activity. I would recommend taking it at night because it does have a calming effect. But I'm sure low doses would be fine in the morning and stuff. But that type of magnesium, it does have a calming effect. I don't know if the dollar stores carry that specific brand. Sorry, of magnesium. Take that. Give me this. They only sometimes have certain ones. My eyes hurt so bad. Can y'all see how red they are? This one right here is really bothering me. The inside corner is extremely red. I've burnt them in the sun. Sorry, we don't do drugs over here. People are so stupid, y'all. It's like a welder's burn, right? That's what I'm saying. Did I forget to put my shield down? It looks like I did, Sheila. It looks like I did. Sheila, you forgot to put my shield down. Now I got second-degree burns on my eyeballs. I'm not joking. It's bothersome. Those glasses have helped. I gotta remember to wear them. Even when I'm like sitting out here, I need to have them on because the sun is still reflecting off the water and everything else, and I've got such light eyes that they actually burn. We were learning about this yesterday. If you have hazel blue or green eyes, you're more susceptible to actually burning your eyes, and it actually does cause, some people get extreme irritation from it. I'm one of the, I'd say mine's a medium. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10. It really bothers me. It feels like there's like sand in my eye or something. Hello. Yeah, I should get some eye drops. I just don't want to carry them around. How to fix it? Cover my eyes up. Build a house. That's how I can fix it. Build a house. Yeah, I need to build a house. Y'all hear that thunder? Y'all hear that? Y'all see my own channel members being fake as hell? Ain't it crazy? Block. Damn, I lost that whole article. Now I can't even find it. Anyways, magnesium. Oh, another natural remedy is ginger. For some reason, hold on. Ginger and PMS. Ginger may be helpful for alleviating symptoms associated with PMS. Studies have shown that ginger can reduce the severity and duration of menstrual pain and may also improve other PMS symptoms like nausea and mood changes. What I do is I take a ginger root and I bite a piece of it off and I chew it up and turn it into a paste in my mouth and then just swallow it. I get a lot of heartburn when I get PMS and also gastrointestinal issues when I have PMS, and that ginger is an anti-inflammatory for your insides. I'm not even joking. It works so good. When I was living out of the truck, I was about to die one night. I was on life. Remember that, y'all? I was sick as a dog. I thought I was literally going to have to go to the ER, and it was probably gas from PMS. But I started eating some ginger root, and all my pain went away within like 20, 30 minutes. I'm not even joking. I had the worst heartburn. My stomach was bubbling. I felt horrible. Not to mention I was cramping like through and through to my back, you know. And I started taking bits of that ginger root and just chewing it up and turning it into a paste, and then I would swallow it. And I'm not even joking. Less than 20 minutes, I was feeling almost 100% better. That raw ginger root, turning it into a paste like that, breaking it down, mixing it around with your saliva and creating a paste and swallowing it, all it's doing is coating your stomach, and then that's going to go through your gastrointestinal tract, and it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's literally touching your inside organs. It's going to help immediately, you know. I would, you know, for PMS symptoms, I would highly recommend, if you have PMS symptoms, I would highly recommend keeping ginger root on hand, and then also maybe implementing the magnesium glycinate like the week of your period. You don't have to take it. Most Americans, I think we read, most Americans are 70% of us are magnesium deficient. That causes mood problems, skin problems, sleep problems. It's important to have your magnesium levels up, especially being out here in the heat. Hey, Olivia, thanks for becoming a bronze member. Ginger and turmeric. Turmeric is wonderful too. I like to do cabbage. Just cabbage and turmeric. Thank you again, Olivia. I've never had the pills. Has anybody ever had the pills? The ginger pills that you can buy over the counter, and like, you know, they look like little capsules. I'm sure it's just ginger root grinded up. Has anybody ever had those? I've never had them. And what is turmeric supposed to be good for? You know, honestly, my body doesn't do so well taking a bunch of supplements. Does anybody else have that problem? I actually, if I take too many supplements at once, it'll upset my stomach, and then sometimes it'll even cause like my back to hurt. It's like my kidneys are telling me, girl, you've overdone it. I have to be careful with supplements. I don't, you know, and I think that it's just because from years of drug use and also years of drinking, I've probably got some major damage to my kidneys and liver. Ginger is I love ginger. I could just like, me too. What is turmeric for? What is turmeric good for? There we go. Cancer. Preventing cancer. Shoot. Antioxidants, anti-inflammatory properties to prevent the development of some types of cancer. Dang. That might be why we have higher levels of it in this country as opposed to other countries that use higher levels of turmeric, because in other countries like India and places, they use a lot of those type of spices. American food is really bland, actually. Like American food. Southern food can be lit but you just gotta know how to like put your feet in it, right? Arthritis. Turmeric has been shown to help people with arthritis, joint pain, stiffness, inflammation. Full It's rich in antioxidants. Turmeric is packed with antioxidants that fight off free radicals in your body. The only thing about turmeric is that it can interact with other vitamins and supplements, particularly those that affect blood clotting or blood sugar levels. Be careful out there. Specifically, it may interact with supplements like vitamin E, NAC, and saw palmetto, which also affect blood clotting. It could interact with supplements that lower blood sugar like ashwagandha, milk, thistle, and garlic. Thistle? Thistle. Arthritis. My butt feels like it's got arthritis. I've been sitting here so long. I need to get up and move around and maybe go lay down for a second. I'm being lazy. What happened, Lizzie? Hold on. Let me go back up to the top so I can read. Supplements can interact with the belly, I found out recently. So you have to be careful which ones you choose to take together. It was accidentally sent from. But I'm glad that I ran across that so people know I'm out here trying to a holistic approach to medicine. However, I forget that, 70% of Americans are on other drugs, and you might not be able to mix a lot of those things. So I would, and something like ginger, that's a little bit different, I think. Let me fact check before I kill somebody. Like, what happened? They found this poor 19-year-old girl dead in her apartment. She was watching your videos. The last one she watched was to eat ginger during your PMS symptoms, and she ate ginger, and she also was on damn hormonal birth control, and it killed her. I'm a good little storyteller. That was like going down memory lane, wasn't it? It almost sounded believable. What should I not mix with ginger medications? What can I have? That's not. Does ginger enter? Yes. Ginger can. Ginger can interact with several medications, potentially increasing the risk of bleeding, affecting blood sugar levels, or altering how medications are absorbed. It's crucial to consult with a healthcare professional before combining ginger with any medication. Listen, if you're a healthy 20-year-old that's just simply got some PMS and you ain't on any blood thinners and you ain't got no diabetes and you ain't got the cholesterol breathing down your neck, then you should be fine. It's so crazy that it says everything you can't eat ginger with it at the end of it. It's warfarin, aspirin, and other anticoagulants. Let thy food be let oh, I did right. Let thy food be thy medicine. Oh, it absolutely affects my mental health. I'm telling you. When I eat a cleaner diet, I have a clearer mind. Yeah, I definitely. I actually like chewing it up. After getting used to chewing it up, just biting it off the root and chewing it up, I like it. I'd rather eat it like that. And God, it's got like this almost this horseradish burn to it once you like it. It's nice. I really like to make smoothies with it and stuff too. I ain't had a smoothie in like 3 years, y'all. That would be good, especially on a hot day like today. I think it's actually cooling off. If you haven't seen this beautiful park, let me show you town, honey. And then I got a Skeetle D to twinkle. Look at these beautiful flowers. We got to watch out. I stepped in bird poop earlier, and there's no wading in the water, so yeah. Look at this. Ain't they pretty? Ain't that just picturesque? Is that what they look? They've been busy working, honey. Every time I come over here, there's a new subspecies of damn varmint busy at work. Thank you for all you do, you little BU. Look at this one. He likes to bounce his booty. Oh, he's twerking. He's twerking. Hey. He said, I know it's Monday, but it's my Saturday. Y'all, I had so many butterflies coming up to me in this park. That looks like a weed plant. No, I'm joking. Cucumber lime water, that would be so good, y'all. I like that cucumber lime stuff. Specifically with a little tequila in it. No, I'm joking. You know, yeah, the cucumber lime stuff is really good. Refreshing. I'm surprised there ain't no people around here. I bet them damn park workers, if there's even one up there, is like, what the hell is this girl doing? She just gonna chill here all day? Yes, sir. I'm tired. I'm premenstrual. You wanna fight? Yes, I am. Chilling. Look, there ain't nobody in here. There's another, oh, something's biting me. There's another nice shelter over there, but I don't think it has a bathroom. This concrete's hot. Ain't nobody chilling at the park. Ain't that sad? Makes you wonder. Where, I mean, you know, I guess everybody's working 6 jobs to have a house. You know? Truly. Got to be. Got to be. Honey or sativa. Honey's good. Honey is a good energizer. It really is. I love honey. I'd rather have honey than sativa. Hold on. Hey, I got a question. You think the spiders that come in these buildings, that was a personal choice? They were like, I'm gonna get me a home? Because you know, most spiders stay outside. Seriously, look. Do you think before he moved in here, he made that conscious decision to move in here? You know, why don't they all move into a house, or why don't they stay outside? Do you think that they are like, oh, I'm going to find me shelter before they move into somebody's house? I'm going, God, my hands are filthy. I wonder if they're like, I don't want to be outside. I want to be inside. You never know. Let's not forget how smart dolphins and stuff are. Elephants. Don't they have a really great memory? They can paint better than I can. Y'all ever seen them painting elephants? Some of them paint and sell for thousands of dollars. They're not half bad. They're cute. There ain't no towels. All right, let's go. Lay on my towel. There's a park ranger up there. Oh, I'm glad to see that there's at least there's a park ranger. Well, I'm glad to see that there's one around here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I was wondering earlier. I was like, I wonder if they have officers that work over here. That's what I'm saying, Mama Thick Thighs. That's what I was do. That's what I'd do if I was a spider. I'd find shelter. Y'all, it's been an absolutely beautiful day. I'm glad that I stayed in the shade because I've been getting too much sun. Riding that bike, you're just like exposed out there, you know? You're like right in full sunlight. My nose is already peeled twice, so I've been trying to like stay away from the damn sun. I know, ginger packets, that's crazy. That's cool, but I've never seen anything like that either. I would fight you too. Oh Lord, here comes that same car from earlier. I wonder if they're parking. They sure don't know how to drive, do they? They take them forever. Bless their hearts. They must not have no mobility. Oh, she don't. She's like 90. It's probably some Karen just being nosy, like, who's that girl? I'm telling y'all, I have that happen so much. Y'all see this how empty it is out here. That's the second time she done been through here with that guy. Weird. Oh, definitely old. They were old as hell. I don't know what the world. They came through here like 2-3 hours ago and was driving real slow looking at me. And then they just come back. I think maybe she's looking to how to get to one of the other shelters or something. It looks like that. Old. Definitely old. I need to wash my face. I feel greasy. Yeah, that spot on my face is finally getting better, but like whatever it was took a chunk out. It was huge. It was in that video that I posted the other day about South Carolina. Looking to get their groove on. Oh, I hope not. God, I hope I don't witness that. I'll never recover. I won't. I'll end up in a mental asylum. My poor little precious eyes. I can't take but so much, man. Can't take but so much. Oh, look at that big old tractor. Y'all racing. The FedEx truck was racing the tractor. I guess they've been working hard today. Oh, let me throw this away. I feel fat and sassy, y'all. I want something sweet. I want a donut. I want some ice cream. I want a donut warmed up with ice cream on top and then like some kind of caramel syrup with like pecans and maybe some hot fudge. Definitely a cherry. That's not going to happen, but that's what I want. Cucumber lime juice. Yeah, it's really good. Something sweet. I don't know. I'm going to get something. How hot is it? Let's see. Damn, it says it might rain right now. Also around 9 o'clock. Says it feels like 88. It cooled off, but it's still like 75% humidity. It's crazy. Hello, Reba. Hello, Summer B. Everybody's doing well, I think. It's been a boring, lazy Monday. I laid out in the sun for like 20, 30 minutes. Then the sun went away. Now it might rain. We had a sandwich, some tuna salad with sprouts. I'm doing all right. I got up super early, 4:45. So, I'm out of caffeine, so like, I'm well. Definitely could use like a double shot of espresso, but I'm well. Hello, I'm AI. This is about that time for an espresso, you know what I mean? It really is. I wonder what I got. I got those caffeine waters. I get sick of that caffeine water. Espresso. Espresso? I thought it was express. Something like that. Yeah, I know. I wish I had some coffee. I don't. I have no coffee. Give me my cup. Look at my. Oh, I forgot I drink. That's electrolytes too. Vape. I think the sun's gonna go. See the clouds? Damn, grass up my nose. They'll swear I'm high. She was scratching her nose. I think those hairs are growing back. I'm gonna get that nair when I get my computer. Y'all, see, this one time I was cleaning houses for this lady. And she had this human growth hormone, which is a gel that you like squirt out of this canister, and then you apply it to your arm like a gel. It's called it was called something derm. It's human growth hormone. It's a liquid gel. You apply it to the skin, and then the skin absorbs it, right? Well, it's supposed to give you heightened energy. You can only get it by prescription. And it's supposed to like kind of be like the vitamin B12 shots that you can get in the hip. I've tried those too. I don't know if I noticed a difference. I only got like I think I got one or two of them. And anyways, human growth hormone is supposed to give women their energy back. I loved it. I loved it. I actually felt better, had more energy, was more focused. I liked it. The problem is it makes any little small hair you might have on your body, it makes it morph into more bigger, darker, thicker hair. So I have blonde hair on my arms, but when I was on that human growth hormone, my hair started to turn darker and it got thicker. And it's still the thickest it's ever been, which ain't thick, but still to me, it's a lot of hair. And my nose hair, like seriously, now I have to damn nair that stuff like an old lady. I might as well just get me a whole wax kit. I mean, I might as well get the ball and the wax beads and damn the popsicle sticks and just go up there like I'm a damn walrus and just seriously, what the hell is the world coming to? They didn't tell me. I wasn't ready. You think for a moment that I would have took that stuff if I knew that it was going to make me turn into a chia pet, a human chia pet out my nose? A human chia pet out my nose. I didn't know. I wasn't ready. Maybe that's why that lady didn't want it. Because I was like, man, this stuff is awesome. This damn human growth hormone, I got all this energy. And all of a sudden I started itching. I'm like, what is this? Maybe that's why she didn't want it. And she was darker haired than me too. And the darker and more coarse your hair is, the worse it's gonna get. That human growth hormone is lovely. Let me see if it's what it's called. What is the transdermal human growth hormone? What is the transdermal human growth hormone? There's several kinds. So transdermal human growth hormone refers to the application of HGH through the skin rather than through injections or other methods. This involves using a gel or patch or a topical formulation designed to allow the HGH to be absorbed into the bloodstream. I'm gonna tell you what, whatever was in mine, it was great. I loved it. Somaderm, that's what it was, Somaderm. And I think you can only get that. And it's been marketed as an anti-aging treatment. It worked good for me, honey. That's all I know. I tried it, and when I ran out, I was crying like a crackhead. I need my, what was it called? I need my derm. I forgot what it's, Somaderm. I need my Somaderm. Yeah, because it gave me energy. It works. So if one of your doctors ever recommends it, you should try it. But just know, you might sprout sprouts out your nose. It's been rough. It's been interesting. We've tried all methods. We've tried tweezers, scissors. The Nair works the best. I think the last time I did that was about a month ago. Probably about 6 to 8 weeks ago. Yeah, anti-aging but pro-haring. For real. It's like the birth control, oxymoronic. Anti-aging, but nobody's going to want to be around you because your nose hair's hanging down to the ground. Oh, God. Y'all, I'm about to run. I think my other phone is going to... my other phone is going to uncharge, but... or it's charged, but still, with everything that's going on, it sucks that I don't have the capabilities to film like I used to. It really does. This whole situation just goes from bad to worse to bad, I've seen, me too, Jay. Oh, I'm sorry, Reba. Thyroid cancer. It's not good at all. Damn it. I think I'm dehydrated. I don't feel good at all today, y'all. You gotta take the good with the bad, I guess, but some days it's literally hard to walk. It's just the menses. You just feel low energy, heavy, bloated, and you don't feel like walking. I know that thyroid problems will cause you to have weight gain as well. It's not good at all. I knew a girlfriend of mine that had a thyroid problem, and she had a real big problem trying to lose weight. It was impossible. No, I understand that. I might lay down in the grass for a little while, y'all. Try to relax. It ain't that hot, but it's still humid, Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, just when I thought things couldn't get worse, it does, You can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. It's all part of God's plan. You just gotta know that He has a plan. Yep. Well, thank you, and I hope that y'all have a good afternoon. Hope that y'all stay safe out there. I'm going to try not to burn my eyelids again, or my eyeballs again. I might actually lay back out on the grass for a little while and try to just chill and enjoy the sun. I hope that you guys have a great day, And be safe out there. Pray for me. God knows I need it. And bye, Summer B. Bye, Lizzie Giggles, Reba. Y'all be safe out there. And thank you again, Miss GT500. Y'all be safe and pray for me because God knows I need it. And I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all.